In the Morning is produced by Jeff McKay. I'm John Trout. This is Westwood One.
Here's the tale of Tina, searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till GoodRx wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hotfoot at thegoodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
KSL FM Midvale, KSL Salt Lake City. This is KSL News Radio, Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good morning. KSL News time is 5 o'clock. This is Utah's Morning News. I'm Andy Farnsworth.
And I'm Amanda Dixon. KSL's top story this hour.
Utah's governor, Senate president, and House Speaker are launching an investigation into a state Supreme Court justice. They're looking into allegations that Justice Diana Hagan had a relationship with an attorney arguing cases before the court.
KSL TV's Daniel Woodruff reports the investigation comes after a complaint was submitted against Justice Hagan to the body that investigates allegations against judges.
This investigation follows a complaint that had been submitted against Justice Hagan to the body here in the state that investigates allegations against judges.
That complaint, obtained exclusively by KSL through a public records request, was submitted by an attorney to the state's Judicial Conduct Commission. That attorney said he communicated with Justice Diana Hagan's ex-husband, who told him the justice had exchanged inappropriate text messages with David Ryman, one of the attorneys involved in a high-profile case about redistricting. That case led to Utah getting a new congressional map. Hagan's ex-husband alleged the justice and Ryman exchanged text messages that started out as silly but then became more suggestive. Justice Hagan strongly denies allegations of an inappropriate relationship of any kind, as does Ryman, calling them false. As a note, Ryman does outside legal work for KSL and represents the Utah Media Coalition, of which KSL is a member. Justice Hagan says she recused herself from any cases involving Ryman after the two renewed their longtime friendship. The Judicial Conduct Commission conducted a preliminary investigation into the allegations, but ultimately decided not to go further. That's troubling to Governor Spencer Cox, Senate President Stuart Adams, and House Speaker Mike Schultz. An initial review by the Judicial Conduct Commission and the court left important questions unresolved, they said in a joint statement to KSL. Allegations of this nature, especially involving public officials, must be examined with transparency and accountability to establish the facts and to maintain public confidence. They went on to say, we will move forward with an independent investigation to ensure the facts are fully examined. This process will be conducted objectively and thoroughly because maintaining trust in our institutions is essential.
That was Daniel Woodruff reporting. It's unclear when this investigation will begin or who specifically will be conducting it. You can read more about this story on our website, ksl.com.
Attorneys for the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk are asking the judge to hold prosecutors in contempt of court. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff explains. Don?
The Utah County Attorney's Office violated a gag order when they talked to the media about the report on the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk. Ballistics report says that bullet can't be directly tied to Tyler Robinson's rifle. Utah County Attorney's Office responded saying that happens a lot and that it is not proof that Robinson's gun didn't fire the bullet. Robinson's attorneys say that was a violation of the gag order. They're also demanding the County Attorney's Office turn over evidence that they say they are withholding. Reporting live, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories this morning. A new ceasefire is in effect between Israel and Lebanon this morning. Israel has been attacking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon since the war with Iran started. ABC's Marcus Moore is following the new developments for us this morning.
It really came as encouraging news for so many across the region, and not only here in Lebanon, but in surrounding countries who've been watching this crisis unfold for weeks now. Since March 2nd, some 2,200 people have been killed, and there have been scores of injuries, and also nearly 1.2 million people have been displaced from their homes.
Critics point out that the ceasefire agreement did not include Hezbollah in the negotiations. The Iranian-backed group has been responsible for firing rockets into Israeli territory.
Utahns keep losing millions to scams. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis joins us live. Brianna?
Amanda, scammers will use anything to get to your wallet, impersonating a salesman, tech support, and even going so far to act like a romantic partner. AARP says in Utah last year, 126 people reported fraud, with total losses totaling over $2.5 million. The biggest contributor to those losses, criminals acting like a big business, most commonly Amazon. Nationwide, Amazon impersonators take around $19 million a year from Americans. Coming in second and third is identity theft and online dating and romance scams. Adults between 50 and 65 are especially vulnerable to these scams as they spend more time online. Live, Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
First look traffic, and it's a messy start to the commute. Here's Cameron Elliott.
I hate to say it, Andy. Yeah, it's bad. We've got a 3-car pileup on southbound I-15 at 146 South and Draper, and another crash that's closing down northbound Bangor Highway completely at 70th South near the South Airport. And that doesn't even cover the handful of crashes on Bangor and I-15 elsewhere. The roads are icy, so please drive slowly if you're headed anywhere anytime soon. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Draper City's mayor says he knows people are frustrated about new high-density housing projects going up, but he says the city is following state policy. KSL News Radio's Michelle Rowe explains.
Some Draper residents have expressed frustration about the new high-density housing developments near the Kimball Lane station, but Mayor Troy Walker says those developments aren't fully up to the city because without them, they'd lose critical funding from the state.
You have a stop, you have to do a stationary plan. And if you don't do a stationary plan, then you're going to be subject to fines, and you'll be ineligible for state infrastructure dollars.
The state asks for 50 units an acre in high-density areas, but Walker found a way to strike a balance between legislature requirements and community wants, bringing that number down to around 26 units an acre. Walker says he feels the legislature and local government does have a better relationship than even a few years ago. Michelle Rowe, KSL News Radio.
Have you ever driven somewhere and then realized you don't remember part of the drive? Well, it turns out there's a reason for that. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera explains.
If you've ever missed an exit or realized you don't remember part of your commute, you're not alone. Psychologist Dr. Garrett Giles says that's your brain's way of hitting a hard reset.
We've been overstimulated for a little while, and so we reset, and during that reset time, we kind of go into a little bit of a mini trance.
He says it happens throughout the day, especially during tasks like familiar drives where your brain simplifies what it's doing. Think of it like mental cruise control, giving your brain a quick reset during repetitive tasks. But I asked Utah Highway Patrol about this, and troopers say even if it feels normal, mentally checking out too far can slow reaction time and lead to crashes. So while your brain may drift, staying alert behind the wheel still matters. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
I used to have that when I drove in from West Jordan all the time.
Yeah, no, I do. And that's in part because we're fortunate we come in so early that there's not, like if I was in bumper-to-bumper traffic, I think I'd have a harder time zoning out.
But you take the same road every day. It's in the dark and nobody's there.
That's why I kind of like repetitive tasks. It does give your brain that little bit. That's why I've never minded doing the dishes.
Or laundry. I never minded laundry for that reason.
Folding laundry, yeah.
It just feels therapeutic.
Gives
like
your mind
meditative almost.
Yeah, so there's some value to repetitive work. Well, we start off this morning in rough shape. A portion of northbound Bangor is closed at 70th South because of a crash and because those overpasses, especially down at the southwest part of the valley, are extremely icy this morning, and they don't look like it. You'll be on dry, and then all of a sudden hit a sheet of ice. So be really careful this morning. We'll check your commute next.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
509 emergency traffic this morning as we get things started. Brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. And where do we start, Cam Elliott?
Well, right now we're going to start at northbound Bangor Highway, where it looks like the troopers have just opened up those lanes where we had a full closure just a couple moments ago at 70th South and South Jordan. Over in I-15, we've got a 3-car pileup that's got the left 3 lanes closed, headed southbound through Draper. If you're headed that way anytime soon, you might want to look at an alternative like the Mountain View Corridor if you're getting down to Utah County. Now, we've got a couple more crashes. We've got a crash on eastbound Bangor Highway on Redwood Road, but that looks like that might have cleared out too. Hopefully, we're whittling those away. There's a crash on southbound Bangor Highway at 6200 South. But that has no lanes blocked. A crash on northbound I-15 at SR 92, that's the Timpanogos Highway in Lehigh, but that's only got the left shoulder blocked and the right shoulder blocked. All of these roads are extremely icy, so we're really going to need you to drive slow if you're headed through those areas. Make sure that you have traction control on and that you're taking your time. Aubrey?
Well, things are looking good if you're over in Weber and Davis County. It is slick, though, and very icy out there as well. So just be careful as you're traveling from Ogden into downtown Salt Lake City. If you're up on Highway 89 traveling Legacy Parkway or the West Davis Corridor, that's looking good. Coming through Parley's Canyon right now is still looking good, but it is icy, so just give yourself some time to get into Salt Lake City. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
AM snow showers south of the Great Salt Lake. By afternoon, partly cloudy and 48. For tomorrow, we're going to go for 61, partly cloudy skies, up to 71, and mostly sunny by Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, it's 30 degrees downtown. What do you do if, a package is supposed to be coming to you from Amazon or another business, but it's lost during shipment? Who is responsible?
I bet everyone's going to point at each other.
Yeah. We've got a great story for you coming up from Matt Gephardt here on KSL News Radio.
Streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Everything to my back is dark.
High in the alpine wilderness,
The ridgeline is imposing, the escarpments, the drops.
a place where survival
It's dark now. I have nothing.
is never certain. In 2011, an Australian hiker vanished.
Did he really make a wrong turn, or did he decide that he was done?
You have done this walk too, but this is your backyard.
The mountains have decided to keep him.
Find and follow the podcast series Uinta Triangle, wherever you get your podcasts.
KSL News Time, 5:13. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
attorneys for the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk say prosecutors violated a judge's gag order, and they want the Utah County Attorney's Office held in contempt of court. I'm KSL News Radio's Don Brinker-Hoff.
Second, Draper City's mayor says he knows people are frustrated about new high-density housing projects going up, but he says the city is following state policy.
Third, traffic and weather together.
UDOT and Highway Patrol are working hard to clean up those crashes on the roads, but thankfully the low volumes of early traffic aren't putting too much pressure on the lane closures we still have. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Afternoon highs topping in the upper 40s, but then a warm up for the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it's 30 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Joy in Lebanon as the 10-day ceasefire with Israel appears to be holding. Still in question, however, whether Israel will hold off on Hezbollah strikes and whether Hezbollah will honor the truce at all. In Beirut, ABC's Marcus Moore.
When these statements came out revealing the news that there was a ceasefire, it was notable that, they were saying it was between Israel and Lebanon, not specifically Hezbollah. And that's important because Hezbollah, many people said, has to be involved in any negotiations or any type of ceasefire because they're the ones with the weapons and who are fighting.
Since early March, more than 2,200 people have been killed in Lebanon and more than 1 million have been displaced from their homes. President Trump declaring the war is going swimmingly as we await word of further ceasefire talks with Iran. Gas prices are up more than $1 a gallon since before the war. Diesel fuel costing more than $5 a gallon, and farmers say fertilizer costs have soared. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
The administration has not ruled out another bailout for American farmers because of what they're dealing with right now with these surging input costs. The Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins, basically said anything is on the table right now. And keep in mind, this is just a couple of months after that $12 billion bailout was announced last year to help American farmers who were, frankly, reeling because of the trade war with China.
The president was in Las Vegas last night touting his tax policies, including no tax on tips.
We got to win the midterms. If we don't, these policies are going to be taken away from you. The taxes are going to go through the roof. Look at these. Look at the states, these blue states, what is going on there with taxes.
The House overnight passing an extension of FISA, the law that allows warrantless surveillance of foreign nationals. President Trump and the Republicans wanted a 5-year extension of the act. However, they could only get a 2-week extension across the finish line. This is ABC News.
If a shipping company loses a package that was supposed to be returned to Amazon or another business, who's responsible?
That very thing happened to a Heber City woman, and it turned into a frustrating mess. KSL TV's Matt Gephardt has more.
It's just gone.
Gone is the package Erica Bickman sent to Amazon. In it were 2 phones that she was trading in with the promise that when they arrived and were inspected, Erica would get an Amazon credit.
The refund was $330 for 2 iPhones.
Now, this was not some porch pirate situation. Erica delivered the phones in person to an approved Amazon drop-off location, one that has tracking. But after she dropped them off, the tracking shows nothing.
That was the last anyone knew of it.
Since then,
I do feel like a broken record.
Erica has been stuck in a loop.
Sorry, this is like a whole repetitive thing.
Talking to Amazon and its approved shipper, trying to get the hundreds of dollars she feels she is owed.
That goes towards a few weeks of groceries. It definitely helps with rent.
Exhausted by the never-ending circle, Erica decided it was time to call the KSL investigators. Now, anytime you ship something, you enter into a shipping contract. If something is lost or damaged, many retailers contractually will make you whole. But not all of them, and in this case, for example, not necessarily Amazon. On its website, Amazon warns that it does not assume risk of loss unless Amazon receives and accepts such items. So is that it? The package is lost and Erica's just out of luck?
no, because the KSL investigators reached out to Amazon on her behalf through the PR department, and this time a spokesperson told us they have reached a resolution with Erica. Erica says just like that, Amazon sent her a gift card for the full $330 despite the phones never turning up.
Very frustrated that the process took this long.
Now, Amazon stepped up in this case, though their terms and conditions state they are not responsible. Still, we found many anecdotes online where they have made shoppers whole after a lost shipment. If you are returning or trading something in, take pics of the package for proof you've sent it in, and always get the tracking number from the shipper.
Tracking number, pictures, documentation. But I'm so grateful to Matt Gephardt. Isn't he?
It's amazing how quickly these companies resolve things when Matt gets on the phone with them. Oh, yeah, no, we can take care of that.
I love that.
It's a good thing we have him on our side, but goodness, what she had to go through before that.
Yeah.
And, you'd think, okay, maybe I put it in my mailbox. Maybe I just stick a label on a thing myself and something can happen. But when you go to the facilities that Amazon has set up,
and you have a tracking number, but it just disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah. I appreciate Matt. That's the In-Depth at 15:45.
Time for a check of traffic and weather together on the 9s. It's emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Let's check in with Cameron Elliott.
Well, good news that northbound Bangor closure is gone. Bad news. Its place has been taken by a fresh crash on southbound I-15 in Lehigh around 2100 North, where it looks like an accident between a trash truck and a passenger car has the HOV lane and the lane to the right of the HOV lane and the right shoulder all blocked. It'll definitely be slow going through there. We've still got that 3-lane closure on southbound I-15 at 146 South and Draper, and that northbound closure may be gone on Bangor, but we still have an accident at 6200 South in Taylorsville, but that's just blocking one of the shoulders. All of these are due to ice, so please drive slowly even if you can't see it. Aubrey?
Well, right now we do have good traffic over in Ogden heading into downtown Salt Lake City on I-15, but it is slick and icy out there, so just be careful as you're traveling there as well. If you're on the West Davis Corridor, Highway 89 or Legacy Parkway, all of those are looking good. Coming through Parley's Canyon looking good as well. And if you're coming out of Tooele County through Lake Point right now, that is starting to fill in quite a bit as you're heading over to I-80 through that construction. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. I got a 48 by this afternoon, more than 10 below the normal, with partly cloudy skies. 61, partly cloudy Saturday. Sunday looks great. 74 and mostly sunny skies. You're pushing 80 on Monday. Look for a high of 79 there, partly cloudy. Mixture of sunshine and clouds on Tuesday, 80 degrees with a south breeze. We then bring in more clouds on Wednesday, 30% chance for a shower, 66. How about a 61 with rain showers on next Thursday? From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Do you not love these wild swings?
Am I still asleep? Because I drove in snow and icy conditions. It's going to be 80 by Monday.
In 4 days. Yeah, in 3 days. It's going to be... We'll have a 30-degree jump in temperature. That's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, yesterday, I'm in class up at the U, and students are giving their final speeches, and all of a sudden somebody goes, ah! And it was because they noticed that it was snowing.
It was. We didn't have one of those this winter.
I know. We only had one snow day up at school.
I mean, our car, when I left this morning, the car's outside my house covered in snow.
Oh, yeah.
Covered.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't recall seeing this winter.
But I just love it. I know it's crazy, but I just love this.
No, I don't mind it. Especially by 80 by Monday means it's all going to be melted, too.
Yeah,
so we just got to get through today.
Right.
And the people who are driving this morning, be really careful. We just got to get through today.
And on our KSL weather page right now, it has the freeze warning goes through noon today. So we could have icy conditions all morning long.
Yeah, I went from 20 or 54 in my garage to 28 by the time I was like a mile from my house.
Wow. All right, right now it's 30 downtown. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Hey folks, Jay Broadbent here from Alpine Home Medical. I've been helping folks breathe easier for 29 years now. Trust me, at my age, I know a thing or two about needing a good night's sleep. Is your CPAP mask old and nasty? Are your masks, filters, or tubing from the pre-COVID era? Or just plain tired of the hassle of ordering supplies yourself? Switch to our resupply program. We handle everything. Automatic shipment straight to your door. Insurance billing and expert support. It's quick, easy, and keeps your sleep therapy on track. Doesn't matter where you got your machine from, anyone can join. Head to alpinehomemedical.com, click on the Easy Resupply button. That's alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Nutella is going beyond the hazelnut. The company's launching a new flavor for the first time. It's Nutella Peanut. It combines the traditional flavor you know and love with roasted peanuts. So it's like peanut butter Nutella?
Sort of. Only it's got a little bit of the chocolatey flavor.
Chocolate peanut Nutella.
So it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup
Spreading
spread
on your sandwich. I mean, that might get me. I was never a big fan of the hazelnut Nutella.
Oh,
My kids love it, but I'm not.
Yeah, my kids love it too. Anyone who shopped at Trader Joe's in 2019 could get part of a $7.4 million settlement. It says receipts from back then show too many digits from customers' debit and credit cards. The chain denies any wrongdoing, but says it settled to avoid a prolonged legal fight.
Netflix shares dramatically fell after chairman and co-founder Reed Hastings said he's on his way out. Reuters reports it has investors worried about the growth or lack thereof. It follows a failed deal with Warner Brothers Discovery.
All right, yesterday the markets closed up. The Dow was up 115, which was 0.25%. S&P up 18, that's 0.25%. NASDAQ closed up 86, which was 0.4%. And so far, the futures are headed that way again. The Dow futures up 193, which is 0.4. The S&P futures up 16, and the NASDAQ futures up 48.
Well, we've got icy conditions over Point of the Mountain on bridges and overpasses in the southwest, especially in the southwest portion of the Salt Lake Valley. It did seem like road conditions improved on Mountain View the further north you went this morning. We'll check your commute next.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
KSL News Time, 5:29. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. Brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Let's get another update from Cam Elliott.
Well, it's worse. We've got a fresh crash on westbound I-80 that it looks like they've opened up some lanes but on the westbound side, but formerly it was all closed just a moment ago. It seems like they're letting some cars through. You might be able to get through, but we're going to wait and see on that. Taking a look over at I-15, we've still got 3 of those lanes closed as you come through Draper. We've got also northbound I-15 and Lehigh by the Timpanogos Highway. We've got 2 crashes there. One has the left shoulder blocked, and it looks to be maybe the left lane blocked and the right shoulder blocked, so be careful as you head through there. We've also got a crash in Salt Lake County on southbound Bangerter Highway at 6200 South. That one, thankfully, has no lanes blocked as of right now. Aubrey?
Well, we are still looking good and crash free if you're traveling through Weber County or Davis County, but it is icy and slick out there. So just maybe reduce your speed a little bit as you're heading into downtown Salt Lake City. If you're coming through Parley's Canyon, that's still looking pretty good as well, but it is icy. So just be careful traveling from Park City into Salt Lake City. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
So that freeze warning sticks around through noon today. We will warm up eventually this afternoon to about 48 degrees, so still on the cool side. Tomorrow, sunshine and 61, but look at this. Sunday, 74. Monday, 79. We'll hit 80 on Tuesday. So there's definitely a warming trend. But then we cool back down after that because another storm moves. And we've got another chance of rain midweek next week with the highs only in the lower 60s. Right now, downtown, partly cloudy and 30 degrees.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News
with Andy Farnsworth and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning. KSL News Time, 5:30. KSL's top story this hour.
We have a band of lake effect snow that has turned the south end of the Salt Lake Valley and northern Utah County into an ice rink.
KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff joins us live. Don, what are you seeing?
You know, the northern part of Salt Lake County seems to be pretty good, Andy. Well, I'm on my way down to the south end where we've had numerous crashes. As Cam was just talking about, we've had the accident there. Looks like Point of the Mountain. We've also had some problems on Bangerter Highway. We're going to head out to West Jordan first and then down towards Lehigh to see what we can see. But we're understanding that there's just ice because of the cold temperatures and how wet the roads were. We're just telling people they need to be cautious this morning. They need to slow down. As I was driving down I-15, I had people going by me at probably 80 plus miles an hour, and they're going to come into that south end where it starts to get wet and slick, and they could cause a problem. So people need to slow down as they head to the south part of Salt Lake County, northern part of Utah County. Reporting live, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
A Utah congressman is assuring Congress the $1 billion President Donald Trump has pledged to the Great Salt Lake is an investment worth making. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis joins us live. Brianna?
Amanda, Congressman Blake Moore made his case to the Office of Management and Budget Director this week while the expense was being reviewed.
The Great Salt Lake isn't just a namesake of Utah's capital city. It's an environmental and economic anchor for the whole Great Basin region, affecting air quality, snowpack, and thousands of jobs across the West.
The money will create a federal program designed to work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Environmental Protection Agency, who will work together to get more water into the lake. Live, Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
Extra water might be let out Flaming Gorge to help the water levels in Lake Powell, but people who rely on the gorge say that would leave them high and dry. KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi reports.
Flaming Gorge might have to come to the aid of Lake Powell. The level of the southern Utah body of water is dangerously low, threatening the ability to generate electricity and provide water to downstream states. However, Cedar Springs Marina at Flaming Gorge is worried about how their operations will be affected. It may have to physically move to deeper waters or extend its operations further into the lake as the lake level drops. But that could make the marina susceptible to wind and waves that it doesn't face from its protected cove.
The decision on how much water to release from Flaming Gorge is expected to be announced on April 21st.
KSL's top national stories this hour. The ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is set to expire in just a few days, but more peace talks are expected to happen this weekend. ABC's Christian Cordero has the story.
President Trump in Las Vegas last night assured Americans the war is almost over.
I will say the war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can
do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon.
Downplaying the war's impact on the economy and oil prices.
We're having some fake inflation because of the fuel, the energy prices.
The president says the second round of talks with Iran could happen as soon as this weekend.
If there is no deal, President Trump says the U.S. military is ready to resume attacks.
President Trump also talked about the economy while speaking in Las Vegas.
We got to win the midterms. If we don't, these policies are going to be taken away from you. The taxes are going to go through the roof. Look at these. Look at the states, these blue states, what is going on there with taxes. Look at what happened in Virginia. A person, we had a good governor there, and somebody got elected that she's gone crazy.
The president pointed to recent stock market records as a sign the economy was booming. His critics point out gas and food prices are high, and we're just starting to see the impact of the war in Iran.
It's been 11 years since a young woman going to school in Provo disappeared. Elizabeth Salgado's body was later found in Hobble Creek Canyon, but no arrests were ever made.
It's very painful every year that it goes by, not knowing what happened to our niece.
Her uncle, Rosenberg Salgado, says the family has not given up hope on finding Elizabeth's killer. Investigators say the case remains open and they are still looking for tips. Elizabeth had only been in Utah for 18 days when she vanished.
First look traffic this morning, not a pretty one. Here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, there's that fresh crash on westbound I-80 that may have two left lanes blocked from what this camera showed me, with Texter reports that it's a two semi crash, and it looks like the left lane on eastbound is closed with stop and go as you head through. We've still got 3 lanes still closed on southbound I-15 headed through Draper. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
2 people have been sentenced for stealing from a hobby store and severely injuring an employee who tried to confront them. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla reports.
Gavin Drake Huss and Riley Deborah Shellman will serve 1 year and 200 days in jail, respectively, along with 3 years of probation for each. The crime itself was back in January when the two stole a remote-controlled car from a madman's hobby store. Employee Mark Wilson followed the pair out to talk to them when their truck moved backwards. He hopped onto the back to avoid getting smashed. He tells KSL he remembers flying down the street, hanging onto the back, and then sliding off. The truck then ran over both of his legs, leaving him with broken bones and road rash. Huss turned himself in soon after, saying he just decided to steal the car while he was in there to buy a part. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
More campsites could be popping up for visitors near Zion National Park. KSL News Radio's Isabella Sosa has more.
The Bureau of Land Management has proposed 2 new campgrounds along SR 9 between Hurricane and Zion National Park, along with a new trailhead and event staging area. If the project gets approved, one campground would be on Gooseberry Mesa Road and the other would be along Sheep Bridge Road near Virgin. BLM Utah Public Affairs Specialist Ashley Snipe says the project will decrease unauthorized camping, protecting native plants from damage and overuse.
The total camping opportunities will actually increase.
Once approved, the BLM will figure out how to fund it. Isabella Sosa, KSL News Radio.
Calling all entrepreneurs. Walmart's Road to Open Call is making a stop in Utah for the first time ever. KSL News Radio's Louise Kelly has details.
About 5 years ago, Walmart pledged to invest another $350 billion in products made in the U.S. by 2030. As part of that effort, representatives are making 9 stops around the country to meet local business owners and consider their products for Walmart shelves. This year, one of the stops is in Utah.
It can be the difference between, a product that is just kind of out there a little bit and they're ready to scale and they're ready to get on the shelves of Walmart or another retail store. This is going to be a big difference. It really puts somebody into the next phase.
That's Salt Lake Community College's Becky Gertler. She says applications are still open and any local entrepreneur is welcome to contact the college for help preparing a pitch. Louise Kelly, KSL News Radio.
Well, things look pretty rough on I-80 near Lake Point in both directions, and we're seeing both directions of the freeway affected, although it seems more southbound than northbound. On I-15 near Point of the Mountain, we'll get an update on your emergency traffic next.
Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots. You may have to take them for life, and many people gain the weight back after stopping. With the Salt Lake City Fat Loss Program, there's a better way. The proprietary natural-based program they utilize has helped thousands of people lose weight and keep it off long-term. Imagine losing up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks without muscle loss, side effects, or yo-yo rebounds. Ready to transform your body for life? Schedule your free personal personalized consultation today at slcfatloss.com.
I'm Jeff Kaplan. With SLC Fat Loss, I lost 32 pounds in 6 short weeks, and I was never hungry. But even more important, I lost that weight 8 months ago. I've kept it all off. I feel younger. I do. It's a great weight loss program. I recommend it. slcfatloss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Schedule your free consultation today by going to slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
539 emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Let's go back to the traffic center in Cameron Elliott.
Well, a brand new crash. I hate to say it. It's got the flyover ramp of westbound SR 201 to westbound I-80 completely closed. That's compounding with the accidents also in Tooele County. Westbound I-80 is nearly completely blocked. I think they've got maybe 1 or 2 lanes open as you come towards Lake Point. Right now, it also looks like they have the left lane on the eastbound side of I-80 blocked. So your only options really are to wait or to try your luck on a frontage road. Let's see. Taking a look over in Salt Lake County, it looks like they're pushing all of the traffic on southbound I-15 in Draper off of the roads. If you're headed south, it may take you a bit, but you could either move over to Redwood Road or Mountain View Corridor and then move back to I-15 once you get a little further south. Don't go back too soon, though, because we've still got that crash on southbound I-15 in Lehigh around 2100 North. Aubrey?
If you're traveling between Ogden and Salt Lake City, things are looking really good there. There's no delays or crashes right now. And if you're on West Davis Corridor or Legacy Parkway or Highway 89, all of those looking good as well. Coming through Parley's Canyon is still a good drive if you're traveling from Kibble Junction over to I-80. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
Cold air moving over the Great Salt Lake, allowing for a couple of lake-effect snow showers this morning, mainly south of the lake. Look for a high of 48 by this afternoon. Everything tapers off, partly cloudy. 61 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. By Sunday, mild, 74 and mostly sunny. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now it's 30 degrees downtown. Would this bother you, Andy? You go to your son or daughter's high school graduation, and when their name is announced before they walk across the stage, the voice announcing them is AI. Not the principal, not the superintendent, AI. Would that bother you? You might not even notice.
You know what? I had a son who graduated the COVID year to where it was just a picture on television, and we watched it from home. Right. So maybe that desensitized me.
Yeah.
I think it would mean less if, like, they were just walking in front of a screen and getting handed by a robot. Like, I don't think the voice
won't
I mean, as somebody who's a voice guy, it bothers me a little, but it wouldn't matter. What would matter is my kid graduating.
Yeah, that's right. They're doing this in Texas, and we're going to go to Texas and talk to Jim Ryan coming up next.
Streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Every year, we seem to have a few people trying to get our free furnace promotion after the sale has ended. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and I know you want to save as much money as you can, but that's not how sales work. When they're over, they're over. Lucky for you, we still have a few more spots on our schedule we need to fill, so I'm extending the sale, but I'm not quite sure for how much longer. Definitely no later than April 30th, and once I think our schedule's full enough, I gotta pull these ads, so don't wait too long to call and schedule your free estimate. Just to recap, when you have Any Hour Services install a new air conditioner, we'll give you a new furnace for just the cost to install it. About $400. The furnace is free, you just pay the labor. So if your furnace and air conditioner are ready to be replaced, don't be one of those people that wishes they had called and taken advantage of our free furnace sale. The estimate's free, and we'll make sure you have all of the information you need to decide if our free furnace sale is right for you. If you think you might be interested, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL News Time.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
The energy, the roar, moments you'll always remember. Next season, Jaren Jackson Jr. is hunting blocks. Laurie Markkinen is getting buckets. And Ace is just getting started. Don't just watch Jazz basketball. Experience every moment. 2026-27 season tickets are on sale now. Full and half-season packages available. Plus exclusive benefits like arena discounts and player events. Are you in? Join the climb today. UtahJazz.com or call 801-355-DUNK.
KSL News Time now, 5:44. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah Congressman Blake Moore is letting Congress know the $1 billion President Trump promised for the Great Salt Lake will be a worthy investment. I'm KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis.
Second, it's been 11 years since Elizabeth Salgado disappeared in Provo and her body found years later in Hobble Creek Canyon, but no suspect in her murder was ever found.
Third, traffic and weather together.
All the traffic is being diverted off the road on southbound I-15 in Draper. You're going to need to use Redwood Road or Mountain View to head south. In Tooele County, we've got three crashes separately. One is closing westbound I-80, one lane of eastbound I-80, and one is closing most of the 201 flyover. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking for a cold afternoon with sunshine, but then warmer over the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, it's 30 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The 10-day truce between Israel and Lebanon appears to be holding, but it's still unclear whether Hezbollah will honor the agreement. As of now, more than 2,000 people in Lebanon have lost their lives in the bombings, and more than 1 million people have been forced from their homes. ABC's Marcus Moore is covering the war from Beirut.
You've had this massive displacement of people and death and destruction. Entire towns and villages have been destroyed in the midst of all of this. So when you put all of that together, you get a sense of why there was so much hope for this ceasefire, and certainly hope that it holds.
Farmers worried about the skyrocketing cost of diesel fuel and about the cost of fertilizer because so much of it travels through the Strait of Hormuz. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons is resigning, not because of policy, he says, because he wants to pursue a job in the private sector and be home with his family. This is ABC News.
Let's go in depth now. A Texas high school will be announcing graduates using AI.
ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan joins us live. This is interesting, Jim.
Well, it is, yeah. And it's actually something that's being used in school districts all over the country. A company called NameCheck has an AI tool that is distributed to the graduating class, and each member of that class then pronounces his or her own name. And then that name is pronounced by the AI tool at graduation perfectly. And that's really the goal here, Amanda, is to try to get these embarrassing moments of mispronunciation taken out of commencement ceremonies. And school districts are giving it a try. Controversial in Plano, Texas, a large district just north of Dallas. One student says she doesn't like it. Her name is Avery Cousins, but this is how it would come out if the AI tool were to say it.
Avery Cousins.
It's not quite real.
Avery Cousins.
So she has started a petition among her students, her graduating classmates there at Plano High School, to try to get it done. Why? Why does she want a human to do it?
There's such a distinct human factor to having somebody who knows you and who's contributed to your education say your name while you walk.
She has about a month, Amanda, to see if her petition changes any minds at the school administration building.
Well, Jim, I wonder if she'd feel different if somebody pronounced her name Avery Cousins.
Well, she might, although she says there's something about, the value of human interaction, even if it's imperfect, is her word. So, yeah, you're right. That's really the goal here, to try to avoid those moments when somebody with a really complicated name has that name mispronounced. And Plano, by the way, has a very large Asian population, a very large Hispanic population. And if someone's not familiar with either Asian languages or Spanish, mispronunciations can happen.
Oh my gosh, Jim. Years ago, I used to be a stadium announcer for our WNBA team here.
Wow.
And also for the gymnastics team up at the U. And I can remember just stress, because you say it so loud, that the thought of mispronouncing an athlete's name and thinking, could that have an effect on her performance because she feels slighted in some way? So this speaks to my soul.
Yeah, my thoughts changed a bit when I realized the reason is they want to make sure the pronunciations are perfect. But I also empathize with Avery because when I remember distinctly my high school graduation, and the teacher who said it with like an energy, and I remember it was a thrill. Like she didn't just read it off. And
couldn't
so
they make the AI say it with a little more oomph?
Probably so. Maybe this is just the demo that the AI sends out that students put their names in. But you're right, it's pretty flat.
Avery Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Given the advancements in AI, maybe it will be at least boosted in enthusiasm.
At least we should get Avery Cousins. Oh, Jim, what a fun story. Thank you so much. Jim Ryan with us on the In-Depth at 15 and 45.
And it's 5:49, time for another check of emergency traffic on this icy morning drive. It's brought to you by UCCU. Save big, build smart with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, we've got 2 new crashes on Bangor Highway by 3500 West in Riverton. That's got the left lane of the southbound blocked and the left shoulder of the northbound blocked. We're still looking at a complete temporary closure of southbound I-15 in Draper, diverting traffic off of the freeway onto Bangor Highway. If you're on there, I would recommend going into Utah County at least. You're going to try to get on Redwood Road, or you're going to try to get onto the Mountain View Corridor, but I imagine a ton of other people are going to have that same idea, so still prepare for heavy delays. Aubrey?
We do have 2 crashes at the same point on SR 36. Well, they're on I-80 eastbound and westbound at SR 36. If you're traveling westbound, there's 1 lane open there, and if you're traveling eastbound, there's 1 lane blocked. So just give yourself some time. It looks like it's a pretty big traffic jam trying to get out of Lake Point right now. And if you are trying to get off of the 201 freeway and onto I-80 westbound, that's also blocked there, as there's a crash on that off ramp there. Over in Weber and Davis County, things are looking good. If you're traveling from Ogden to downtown, we don't have any delays. I'm Aubrey Withridge in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. I got 48 expected this afternoon, definitely on the chilly side with partly cloudy skies. 61 by Saturday, partly cloudy. 74 mostly sunny skies on Sunday. That warming trend will continue into next week. Monday I got 79, partly cloudy. Mixture of sunshine and passing clouds on Tuesday. 80 degrees with a south breeze. That south breeze will usher in another small storm on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 30% chance for a shower, 66. I got a 61 next Thursday with a chance for rain. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now it's 30 degrees. Downtown's cold outside. And the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. What's the big movie this week, Andy?
Well, for some people, it's Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and I didn't see that one. So we're going to talk about one called Normal, starring Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, God. Yeah, I like that guy. He's the guy from Nobody.
Yes.
Okay.
And what a career change he's had. I mean, he was just goofy Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Now he's an action star.
Yeah.
And this one, nothing is normal in the town of Normal, Minnesota.
Is it like Nobody?
There's some similarities. It's not like a thing where he's like a secretly trained spy. He's just a replacement sheriff.
Okay.
And he kind of discovers that there's a lot more to the town than seems to meet the eye. And it's kind of goofy.
Okay.
And super violent.
Super violent.
Super violent.
Okay. All right. You're going to tell us more about it.
I'll tell you more about that at 7:45 and, of course, on the movie show today from 11 to 1.
Look forward to it.
Taxes could be your biggest expense in retirement. More than housing, more than healthcare, or anything else. And many retirees will overpay their taxes by tens of thousands of dollars every single year. Learn how you could significantly reduce your taxes in retirement at a free event with retirement tax expert Becky Swansburg on Thursday, April 23rd at 6:30 p.m. in downtown Salt Lake. It's hosted by Boss Retirement Solutions. Becky worked in the White House and on Capitol Hill on tax policy, and she has the inside track on the proven strategies that could lead to a windfall of savings in retirement. This event is free, but seating is limited. So reserve your free ticket now by calling this number, 801-850-6988. That number one more time, 801-850-6988.
For informational purposes only, not tax, legal, or investment advice. Speaker is not a client and does not endorse BOSS. Speaker compensation creates a conflict of interest.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Companies are getting ready to file for tariff refunds. The system goes live on Monday, but Reuters reports many people are worried about how busy it will be and if the system will crash.
NPR has received its largest donation from a living donor in the network's history. It was $80 million from philanthropist and co-founder of the Ballmer Group, Connie Ballmer. An anonymous gift of $33 million was also received. This comes after the Trump administration clawed back $500 million in annual funding for public broadcasters.
Gatorade is targeting non-athletes. The PepsiCo-owned brand is planning to launch Gatorade Longer Lasting. It has 3 times the electrolytes as Gatorade Thirst Quencher and aims to help people stay hydrated. It could be released as early as 2027.
That's interesting.
So not just athletes. Gatorade's not just for athletes anymore.
All of us need to replenish.
I've always liked Gatorade, though.
All right, let's get a look at your money at this moment. The futures are up this morning. The Dow futures up 220. That's about 0.5%. The S&P futures up 21. That's 0.3%. The Nasdaq futures up 65. That's 0.25%. Crude oil is coming down. Look at this. It's down $3.65. We're now at $91.04 a barrel, which is why you're seeing a few pennies less at the pump now.
Hoping for a few dollars less sometime soon. It's a real mess on the border of Tooele County and the Salt Lake Valley because of icy conditions and crashes on I-80. Plus, Point of the Mountain, just a treacherous drive this morning. We'll get an update on your commute next.
This is the time of year when allergies really pick up. It seems like even when you go home, the sneezing and watery eyes keep going strong. The truth is, allergens don't get caught inside the house. Up to 40 pounds of dirt, dust, and allergens can be collected in your carpet each year, not to mention everything that's living in your vents. But with Zero-Res carpet and air duct cleaning, you can get a fresh reset. Zero-Res cleans without harsh soaps or detergents, so there's no sticky residue left behind. That means your carpets stay cleaner longer, and your home stays healthier. Now is the perfect time to schedule your cleaning because Zero-Res is offering a special. 3 rooms of carpet cleaning for just $119 plus a free hallway. A clean home is a healthier home. Get your fresh start today at Zero-Res.com. Spelled the same forwards or backwards. Zero-Res is the right way to clean. Zero-Res.com.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Looking for something fun to win this week? Head to KSL.com/win and enter now. we're giving you the chance to score tickets to the Disney Worlds Collide concert tour. Or cheer on Real Salt Lake with tickets to a variety of games this season. It's quick, easy, and free to enter. So don't miss out. Visit KSL.com/win today. KSL.com/win and see what you could be winning this week. Good luck.
KSL News Time, 5:59, emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Cameron, what's the latest?
Well, the latest is bad. I'm just going to rattle off a couple of here. Right now, we've still got those closures on southbound I-15 that is completely closing a small section of the I-15. They're diverting all traffic over onto the Bangor Highway. If you're headed south, you're going to want to look at alternate options like the Mountain View Corridor or Redwood Road. Also on northbound I-15 at SR-92, that's the Timpanogos Highway, we've got a crash with the left shoulder and the right shoulder blocked. As southbound I-15 at SR-194, that's 2100 North in Lehigh, we've got the left lane blocked and the left shoulder blocked. Over in Tooele, I'll let Aubrey tell you about that, but in Salt Lake County, we've got multiple crashes on Bangor Highway. We've got one in Riverton, that's on southbound at 3500 West in Riverton, that's blocking the left lane and the left shoulder. Southbound at 1700 West, that's the left lane and the left shoulder as well. We've got another one on northbound Bangor Highway at milepost 5. We've got in Salt Lake County, northbound Mountain View Corridor, that's got the left shoulder blocked due to a fresh crash. Aubrey?
Well, we've got a few crashes out in Tooele County right now. Westbound I-80 only has one right lane open at SR-36, and we also have an eastbound crash in that same spot on I-80, right where SR-36 merges onto I-80. We already have construction delays there, so give yourself a good chunk of time to get out of there. Also, the ramp from westbound 201 freeway is blocked as you try to get off onto westbound I-80. And over in Weber and Davis counties, that's looking good as you travel from Ogden into downtown Salt Lake City. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today, we'll get up to 48 degrees eventually, but that freeze warning is in effect through noon today. Tomorrow, though, sunny and 61, up to the upper 70s to start off next week. Right now, it's 30 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good morning. KSL News Time, 6 o'clock. This is Utah's Morning News. I'm Andy Farnsworth.
And I'm Amanda Dixon. KSL's top story this hour.
The man accused of killing Charlie Kirk is scheduled to be back in a Provo courtroom this morning, and his attorneys want the judge to hold prosecutors in contempt of court.
We get the update live from KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff. Don?
Amanda, the attorneys for Tyler Robinson say Utah County Attorney's Office violated a gag order by talking with the media about a ballistics report on the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk. In addition to the request for the contempt of court, defense team is also asking the county attorney to be forced to hand over any correspondence that they've had with the media since the end of March to see if that correspondence also violated that gag order. Reporting live, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Time for KSL weather with Matt Johnson.
So we picked up a little bit of snow, yes, on April 16th and now into the 17th this morning. Total so far, Alta, 8 inches, Bountiful, 4, Centerville, Tooele, City Creek, all with about an inch of snow. And then the Ogden Bench in West Lehigh picking up about a half inch of snow. There are some lingering snow showers, mainly south of the Great Salt Lake, so Tooele Valley, Lake Point, and even the southwest end of the Salt Lake Valley. Really, this is just a morning deal for the next couple of hours, and then it should taper off as we head through mid-morning.
Those lake effect showers have caused some serious problems on the roads. We'll check in with the KSL Traffic Center in just a moment.
Utahns are losing millions of dollars to scammers every year. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis joins us live. Brianna?
Amanda, losses from scams reported to AARP in Utah last year totaled over $2.5 million. Bad actors are posing as government official tech support and telling people they have won the lottery and only need to send a small amount to claim the prize. One of the largest scams gaining traction are online romance scams, where criminals are leveraging the relationship to get money. One woman in Utah lost $850,000 over the course of months when the man she was speaking with online suggested they invest in cryptocurrency together. However, the most commonly reported scam in the state is still coming from imposters posing as big business businesses, most commonly Amazon. Live, Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories this hour. A new ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon appears to be holding. It comes after weeks of Israeli attacks targeting Hezbollah. ABC's Marcus Moore has more.
When these statements came out revealing the news that there was a ceasefire, it was notable that, they were saying it was between Israel and Lebanon, not specifically Hezbollah. And that's important because Hezbollah, many people said, has to be involved in any negotiations or any type of ceasefire because they're the ones with the weapons and who are fighting.
Officials in Lebanon say over 2,000 people have been killed by Israeli attacks and millions have been forced from their homes.
European airlines say they may have to ground some of their planes because they're running out of jet fuel.
The head of the International Energy Agency warns the war in Iran has left Europe with only about 6 weeks of jet fuel supplies. Some airlines have started announcing cutbacks. Lufthansa announced it will be grounding planes, and KLM says they're cutting flights within Europe that the airline says are not financially viable.
ABC's Dave Packer reporting.
The FBI says they are using new technology to analyze possible DNA evidence in the case of Nancy Guthrie, who went missing from her home in Arizona in February.
The FBI is now analyzing potentially critical DNA recovered months ago from Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home. Guthrie has been missing since February 1st. The FBI received a sample from a private lab in Florida that works with the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Sources say the FBI is using new technology to analyze the sample in the hopes of producing a lead. As many as 5 other labs around the country are working on the Guthrie case.
That's ABC's Hannah Battah reporting.
First look traffic now in the 6 o'clock hour, and I know we've got problems out there, Cameron.
Yes, we do. All the traffic is being diverted off the road on southbound I-15 in Draper. You're going to need to use Redwood Road or Mountain View Corridor if you're headed into Utah County, or just go around those accidents. In Tooele County, we've got 3 crashes, one confirmed from UHP to be 2 jackknifed semis closing westbound I-80. And over in Salt Lake County, we've got reports of a minivan off the road in Mountain View and Araman. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
A group of people in Draper are letting city officials know they're not happy about new high-density developments. But the city says they're just following state law. KSL News Radio's Michelle Rowe has more.
The legislature requires cities with mass transit stops to create more high-density housing nearby or risk losing funding from the state. It's called station area planning, something that some Draper residents have been concerned about. Draper City Mayor Troy Walker says the city is working to meet the requirement while keeping the area around Kimball's Lane manageable. He also says that buying a house can feel unattainable, so the lower cost units may bring some affordability back to the area.
Walker says it's important to vote for both local and state officials who share your goals and values because both offices make decisions that impact you.
An update to a story we're following. Homeland Security now officially owns all of the land the proposed Salt Lake City ICE warehouse sits on. Before, half of the land was owned by a limited liability company with ties to a German bank. Salt Lake County assessors say it may have been an oversight in the contract. We'll continue to follow the story and provide any updates as we get them.
For some drivers, the commute feels automatic to the point you don't even remember parts of the drive. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera explains.
That moment you realize you don't remember part of your drive, it's something a lot of people experience. Psychologist Dr. Garrett Giles says it's not just about driving.
As humans, we experience naturally occurring what we call trance states regularly throughout the day. It's a normal part of our brain activity. And in fact, that's what clinical hypnosis is really built on.
It's part of how your brain manages stress and stimulation, briefly shifting into a more automatic mode. But I asked Highway Patrol about this, and troopers say even if it feels routine, mentally checking out can still slow reaction time and lead to crashes. So even on the most familiar drive, staying mentally present still matters. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Yeah, I've missed an exit before,
Yeah.
even on the thing where I know exactly where I'm going. Well, or I've taken an exit when I'm driving with my family that I normally take going to work, and I meant to take a different one.
I've missed my train stop before.
Oh.
And then I have to go to the next one and walk back because I just was spacing out.
Trance State. Emergency traffic to Tooele County, both directions of I-80 near Lake Point. Just an absolute nightmare with icy conditions. We've been watching a salt truck trying to help traffic over Point of the Mountain get some traction, but southbound 15's at a stop. We'll get an update on your commute coming up next.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Does it feel like someone stabbing a knife into your heel?
Or does your lower back give you problems as the day goes on? The Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Ann.
Every time I stood up, pain just shot up my legs. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store. I went to them after my doctor diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis. And now, thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm 100%.
Wouldn't it be nice to get back to doing what you love, like Patrick did?
I was in constant pain. Somehow my fiance and I found our way into the Good Feet store. Put my foot on the arch support system. I put them in my shoes, my back, my knees, my ankles. Thank you. Thank you, everybody at the Good Feet store. You gave me my active life back.
Learn more or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com and come in and get your free personalized fitting at the Good Feet store. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Spring has arrived, and that means it's time for one of J&J Garden Center's most anticipated events of the year, Tomato Frenzy. Right now at J&J Garden Center in Layton, you can pick up large, healthy tomato plants for just $2.99 each. That's half off the regular price and one of the best garden deals of the season. Whether you're planting a few favorites for fresh summer salads or filling your garden with rows of tomatoes, Tomato Frenzy is the perfect time to stock up. J&J's greenhouses are full of strong, ready-to-plant varieties, and the J&J team is always there to help you choose the right plants for your garden and growing space. While you're there, don't forget to grab everything you need to give your tomatoes their best start, including J&J's premium topsoil, garden supplies, and planting essentials. But don't wait too long. Tomato Frenzy only runs through April 25th. Visit J&J Garden Center in Layton and start growing your best tomato harvest yet. J&J Garden Center. Country grown to your home.
Time for a check of emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Cam, what's the biggest trouble spot you're looking at?
Biggest trouble spot I'm looking at right now is definitely southbound I-15, where they're diverting all the traffic off in 146 South in Draper. You're probably not going to be able to find your way back onto I-15 anywhere up in Salt Lake County if you're headed south. If you want to go south, you're going to want to maybe hop onto the Mountain View Corridor or Redwood Road, but I would expect a lot of other people have that idea, so please do try to be kind to each other on these icy roads. Over in Utah County, we've got a crash on northbound I-15 at Timpanogos Highway. That's got the left shoulder and the right shoulder blocked. We've also got a crash at 2100 North on Lehigh, on southbound I-15, I should say. That's got the left lane blocked and the left shoulder blocked. Northbound I-15, also at Timpanogos Highway, this has the right shoulder blocked as well. In Salt Lake County, southbound Bangerter Highway at 3500 West in Riverton, that's got the left lane blocked as well as the left shoulder. We've also got southbound Bangerter Highway, at 1700 West. That's going to have it almost completely closed. Southbound or northbound Bangerter Highway, moving over to northbound at 3600 West in Riverton. That's got the right shoulder blocked. Northbound Bangerter in, it looks to be Harriman. That's got the right shoulder blocked. Looking over at the Mountain View Corridor, also in Salt Lake, north of Porter Rockwell Boulevard, we're going to be looking at the left shoulder closed. And then also on northbound Mountain View Corridor at Camp Williams, you've got the right lane blocked. Aubrey?
Things are looking really slow for drivers out into Willa County. If you're coming out of Lake Point right now on northbound SR 36, it is looking pretty slow, as we do have a crash on eastbound I-80 there where a left lane is blocked. What's really slow, though, is if you're traveling westbound through that same stretch, we do have a crash that is blocking most of the freeway there. It looks like you can get by on the right shoulder. It's two jackknife semi-trucks there, so just be careful if you're traveling westbound I-80 trying to get into the Lake Point area. Coming out of off of the 201 freeway, we did have a crash on the off-ramp to I-80 westbound. It is still there, but it's moved over to the shoulder now. Common Spirit hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
Scattered lake effect snow showers south of the Great Salt Lake. Everybody else is dry, partly cloudy skies by afternoon, but a high of only 48. Overnight, we dip off to the freezing mark again. Take care of the garden if you can. 61 tomorrow and partly cloudy skies. 74, mostly sunny skies by Sunday afternoon. We're pushing 80 by Monday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's 30 downtown. What's the latest on President Trump's new ballroom? Is construction back underway? We'll find out next on KSL.
Streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Call Trajan today at 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
KSL News Time, 6:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
a lake-effect snow ban has turned several roads into ice rinks in Utah this morning. I'm KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson.
Second, the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk is scheduled to be back in a Provo courtroom this morning, and his attorneys want the judge to hold prosecutors in contempt of court.
Third, traffic and weather together.
Well, according to UDOT, we're contending with about 16 accidents at the moment, with the chief two being a temporary closure of southbound I-15 in Draper and eastbound Bangerter Highway at Redwood Road. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Afternoon highs topping in the upper 40s, but then a warm-up for the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's 30 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Let's go in depth. A federal judge says some security-related work can continue on the White House ballroom, but all other renovations need approval from Congress.
ABC News investigative reporter Peter Haralambous joins us live. Which work is security related and which work is not, Peter?
Yeah, it was a great question because President Trump has argued the entire ballroom itself is security related because of its bulletproof glass and it's drone proof. The judge disagreed, though, and he's saying that the work on the military-related installation underneath the ballroom, such as a bunker and medical facilities, stuff like that can continue because of its relevance to national security. However, basically everything above ground, the actual ballroom that we've seen renderings of, for example, that cannot proceed until it has authorization from lawmakers.
And how did the president react to this, Peter?
not particularly well. In a series of posts on Truth Social, he railed against the judge who was making this decision. He said that this was unlawful, that he was overstepping his bounds. He suggested he was colluding with other judges. That's unsubstantiated, but the president, of course, frustrated. However, this did come as he did get another win in terms of his effort to reshape the D.C. skyline. Yesterday, the same day that this judge came down with his decision, the Commission on Fine Arts actually gave initial approval on his plan for a 250-foot triumphal arch that he wants to put near Arlington National Cemetery.
Yeah, tell me more about that arch. I've only heard that he said that the city needs an arch. Where would it go and what would it look like?
Yeah, so this is a gigantic arch. We're talking about something 3 feet as tall as the arch that's in Washington Square Park, bigger than the Arc de Triomphe in France. Trump wants to put it on a small strip of land across the street from Arlington National Cemetery. He thinks it would be a beautiful thing, especially with the 250th anniversary. And he suggests that it might be partially paid for using private money, though at least $15 million in taxpayer funds have been allocated for this project. So far, he has preliminary approval, though that project does face a lawsuit from a group of veterans who've raised concerns that massive arch would ruin the line of sight between the Lincoln Memorial and Arlington National Cemetery, which is a kind of a symbolic connection that has existed at this point for centuries.
Does he need congressional approval for that, or is this commission enough of approval for him?
The veterans who are suing argue that he does need congressional approval. The White House, on the other hand, though, has argued that because Congress more than 100 years ago approved a design plan for the bridge near the arch, they argue that this is basically an addition that slots in, and Congress therefore already approved it. It's kind of a far-fetched legal theory. It's likely to be challenged in court. But for now, it seems like the White House is plowing ahead. They've suggested this arch might even be done in time for the 250th anniversary, which is in July.
All right, thank you for the information. That's ABC News investigative reporter Peter Haralambous with us live on The In-Depth at 15 and 45. Now it's time for a check of emergency traffic on this icy morning drive for so many of you. Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, like I said a second ago, we're currently looking at about 16 accidents on the road, but I'm just going to tell you the most important ones you got to know. Southbound I-15 in Draper is completely closed for now at 146 South. They're rerouting traffic right off the freeway. You're going to need to find an alternate route like Redwood Road or the Mountain View Corridor if you plan on getting into Utah County. Southbound Bangor Highway at 1700 West, that is also completely closed. You're going to need to find a way around that. Now, as for northbound Mountain View, we've got the right lane of 2 lanes blocked, so plan a lot of extra time by Camp Williams. That's northbound Mountain View by Camp Williams. We've also got the left lane of southbound Bangor Highway at 3500 West in Riverton blocked. That's the left lane of 3 lanes, so you're going to need to plan in a lot of extra time for that. Aubrey?
Well, we have a couple of crashes out in Tooele County. We have I-80 westbound closed at SR 36 in Lake Point due to a couple of jackknife semi-trucks there. They're trying to get those moved off so you can get through there, but right now it is closed. We do have an eastbound crash there in that same spot as you're coming out of Lake Point. It looks like a left lane is blocked there, but you can get by on the right lane. And if you're trying to get off of the 201 freeway onto westbound I-80, that we do have a crash there as well. It's moved over to the shoulder, but you will still see some slowing there. If you're over in Weber County or Davis County, things are looking good there as you head into Salt Lake City. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. I got a 48 by this afternoon, more than 10 below the normal, with partly cloudy skies. 61, partly cloudy Saturday. Sunday looks great. 74 and mostly sunny skies. You're pushing 80 on Monday. Look for a high of 79 there, partly cloudy. Mixture of sunshine and clouds on Tuesday, 80 degrees with a south breeze. We then bring in more clouds on Wednesday, 30% chance for a shower, 66. How about a 61 with rain showers on next Thursday? From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's 30 degrees downtown. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
This is Nate Orchard from Advanced Window Products. When you live in Utah, your windows do a lot more than let the light in. They protect your home from freezing winters, blazing summers, and everything in between. That's why Advanced Window Products builds every window for your local climate. No middleman, no out-of-state delays, just factory direct quality, custom made for your home. Imagine a quieter home, a warmer home, a cooler home. Our high-efficiency vinyl windows are engineered to lower your energy bills and boost your comfort all year round. And installation is done by our own certified in-house crews, never subcontractors. That's why Utah homeowners give us 5-star reviews. Right now, take advantage of our anniversary sale. For a limited time, get $2,500 off when you buy 10 or more windows. Call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. For 40 years, Advanced Window Products has been the name Utah trusts for custom replacement windows and sliding glass doors. Advanced Window Products, built here, installed here, trusted here. Call 801-850-9100 for that $2,500 off, or visit us at advancedwindows.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
The Children's Center Utah provides a unique service in our communities by meeting the needs of very young children and their caregivers. Here's another Little Minds Big Hope message from Dr. Jennifer Mitchell, the Children's Center Vice President of Clinical Strategy and Innovation.
Did you know when young children act out, they may be trying to communicate something they don't yet have the words for? Behavior is often a signal that a child needs support. Find out more at childrencenterutah.org.
I'm here with Monty from Connecticut Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer. So, Monty, I wonder if you know someone like this. He's the ultimate DIY guy. Restores classic cars, builds his own deck, and even smokes his own brisket.
Sounds like a talented guy.
He is, but get this, his other weekend hobby is troubleshooting his water softener. He's always down there resetting the timer or fiddling with the circuit board.
See, Doug, that's where I draw the line. Smoking a brisket is a great weekend project.
Yeah.
Fixing an electric water softener is just a chore.
Exactly. He thinks he's saved money by buying the bargain brand, but he's paying for it with his Saturdays.
That's the Connecticut difference. Our systems are premium because they are non-electric and fully automated. No computers to fry, no timers to reset. We install it and you get back to the hobbies you actually enjoy.
If you want soft water, do what I did and leave that to Connecticut. It runs on water power, not willpower. Learn more at softwaterutah.com. That's softwaterutah.com.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Summit County residents received some of the biggest tax refunds in the U.S. Fox Business reports the area had an average refund of $8,481, with at least 55% of the 25,000 returns filed getting a refund.
Wow. Dairy Queen is embracing AI. The chain will be expanding its AI service drive-thrus. Executives say they've seen positive results and improved order accuracy.
QVC, the iconic home shopping network, is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Oh, wow,
Are they selling themselves on the TV now? The Wall Street Journal reports it's part of a restructuring support agreement, which will cut its debt from $6.6 billion to $1.3 billion.
Futures are up this morning. The Dow futures up 275, which is 0.5%. S&P futures up 28, that's 0.4. NASDAQ futures up 101, that's also 0.4.
South 15 closed at 14600 South. We've got I-80 just at a stop in both directions near Lake Point. We'll update emergency traffic coming up next.
How about some good news?
That'd be nice to hear some of that right about now.
You or your adult kids may actually be able to buy your first home because UCCU, Utah Community Credit Union, where I've been banking for years, they are always looking for ways to help Utah families. And here is the latest one. They have 100% mortgage financing, so you can get into that first home.
Yeah, if you can't afford that large down payment or you know it's going to take you too many years to save up for it, you don't have to wait that long. You can get into a home 5-6 years sooner and start building the equity immediately because of 100% financing for first-time home buyers. That's how my wife and I were able to get into our home when we did.
Right, and then you'll have the time to pay that home off and maybe someday actually not have a mortgage payment. But that only happens if you start now, and you can start now at UCCU.
And if you're looking to build a home, well, UCCU's got a special deal for you as well. They've got what's called a one-time close, which means you close at the interest rate you get at the beginning of construction. It allows you to help design your house. You don't necessarily just have to buy a cookie-cutter design.
Yeah.
But what really happens is that time when you're going to go and actually move into the house, you don't have to do a second closing where you end up paying thousands of extra dollars in fees.
This is important. So if you're going to build a house, Don't finance with just anybody. Finance with UCCU and save that second closing fee and the change of rates and everything else that could happen. It's just a smart way to do this.
Get the process started at uccu.com. You can go through most of the process online. You may not even have to go into a branch at all. UCCU, love where you bank.
Let me ask you a question. You have a best friend? How big would it shock you if somebody told you that your best friend just killed somebody?
911, what's your emergency? Someone on the other line said they kidnapped my son and they're demanding $500,000.
I've asked myself so many times, what in the world happened?
Ransom is available now. Listen at ransompodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
The movie shows at Minky Couture in Layton today from 10 to 1. Minky Couture, the original creator of Cozy Indulgence with unmatched softness and premium quality. Visit minkycouture.com. Emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, I'm happy to say we've got one reopening on southbound Bangor Highway at 1700 West. That road is now open once again, but unfortunately we've still got 3 closures. You're going to find one on southbound I-15 as you head through Draper. That's at 146 South, where they're still diverting all of the traffic off the freeway. You're going to find another one southbound Mountain View Corridor at Camp Williams. That's completely closed. It looks headed southbound. And it also looks like we've got one in Tooele, but I'll let Aubrey tell you about that. Aubrey?
We do have a westbound closure there on I-80. This is at SR 36 in Lake Point. 2 jackknife semi trucks there are blocking the whole freeway. And if you're on the eastbound side of things, it looks like we have one left lane blocked there. So if you're coming out of Lake Point through that construction zone from Canyon Road all the way over to the I-80 merge, you're going to have some slowdowns there. If you're over in Weber and Davis County, though, that's a different story. Things are looking good there for drivers as you're heading over from Ogden into downtown Salt Lake City. Whether you park it, stripe it, or pave it, GoPave Utah has your blacktop covered at gopavutah.com. That's gopavutah.com. Call or visit gopavutah.com. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
It's going to be cold this morning, and in fact, it will only warm up to 48 degrees by this afternoon. Tomorrow's warmer, though, 61 with lots of sunshine. Sunday, 74. Look at this. To start off next week, we're near 80 degrees. 79 on Monday, 80 on Tuesday before we cool back into the 60s midweek next week. Right now, it's 30 downtown.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News
with Andy Farnsworth and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning. KSL News Time, 6:30. KSL's top story this hour.
A burst of lake-effect snow combined with below-freezing temperatures is causing some serious problems in Tooele, Utah, and Salt Lake counties this morning.
KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff joins us live from the south end of the Salt Lake Valley. Don?
Andy, I got a long-distance look at the accident that shut down southbound I-15. Of course, that long-distance look is because right now traffic is backed up into Draper. It looks like that accident is just kind of as you begin to go up onto Point of the Mountain. It's southbound. A lot of flashing lights up there. Right now I'm at Bangor and Redwood Road, kind of looking at this accident here. Looks like it's on the overpass of where Bangor goes over Redwood. And that is a slick bridge. I came up as I was coming up to it. It's icy. There was a accident westbound as well as eastbound. The westbound accident hasn't got it completely shut down, but it's a slick, icy road. Problem is the bridges are just ice covered because they're wet. Of course, it's cold, and then that cold air flowing underneath the bridges. It's just created kind of an ice rink on those bridges. So as people approach bridges anywhere in kind of the southwestern part of Salt Lake County, of course, northern part of Utah County, and then in Tooele County, they need to watch those bridges. Reporting live from Redwood Road and Bangor Highway, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Cameron Elliott joins us again from the traffic center to recap some of the other bad spots on the roads right now. Cameron?
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is a traffic nightmare that we're not waking up from. Besides that southbound I-15 closure, we're looking at just a ton of shoulders blocked because of crashes. That's through Utah, Salt Lake, Tooele counties, all of them. The worst otherwise is probably southbound Mountain View corridor in by Camp Williams over in Bluffdale. You've got the road completely closed over there. And, of course, you've got that closure in Tooele County that's looking really bad. I would say it looks to be about 15 separate crashes on the road right now. And unfortunately, I'm going to say the ones on the major roads are going to take a good long while to clean up. I would not expect this to be a done deal by rush hour. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
A Utah congressman is assuring Congress the $1 billion put towards restoring the Great Salt Lake will be worth it. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis joins us live. Brianna?
Andy, Representative Blake Moore told the House of Representatives in a House Budget Committee meeting the lake is an environmental and economic anchor to the area, affecting air quality, snowpack, and thousands of jobs across the West.
This investment is monumental, but I want to assure my colleagues that the investment now in this will save taxpayers down the road from future calamity.
He says he looks forward to working on the lake as the Olympics are set to return to the state in 2034. The money will be used to develop a federal program aimed at improving water flow to the lake. Live, Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
Water will be pulled from Flaming Gorge and delivered downstream to Lake Powell. KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi reports the question is how much?
It wouldn't be the first time Lake Powell has leaned on Flaming Gorge for water. Stacy Rauch, who owns Cedar Springs Marina, says in 2022, 500,000 acre-feet of water was pulled from the gorge.
And it was a pretty significant drop. I mean, although I was told it only raised Powell a matter of inches, it dropped us over 15 feet.
Rauch says they can lower their boat ramp, but it puts them out into the lake channel and away from the protection of the cove. She's heard that up to 1 million acre-feet of water could be pulled this time, which is double the amount taken before. Lake Powell, which is already severely impacted by the drought, needs the water to keep generating electricity and provide water to states below the lake. Tammy Kikuchi, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories this hour. President Trump says he expects new peace talks between the U.S. and Iran to take place this weekend. ABC's Rachel Scott has more.
President Trump says the war with Iran should be over soon, claiming it's going swimmingly.
I will say the war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon. It was perfect.
The ceasefire with Iran is set to expire in just 5 days.
The White House says if Iran does not make a deal, the military is ready to resume talks. Meanwhile, a new ceasefire deal between Israel and Lebanon appears to be holding this morning.
It has now been 11 years since Elizabeth Salgado disappeared from Provo and her body later found dumped in Hobble Creek Canyon. Today, her family says they have not given up hope her killer will be found.
We have so much faith, and I feel like the Lord, at any time, any day, we're waiting for that miracle to happen.
Rosenberg Salgado is Elizabeth's uncle, and he tells KSL the family keeps in touch with investigators who are still searching for leads. Elizabeth had only been in Provo 18 days when she disappeared after attending classes at a language school.
First look, traffic, and here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, we still got about 14 accidents on northern Utah's roads, but the major closures on southbound I-15 in Draper and westbound I-80 on the border of Tooele County. Please drive slow if you're on your morning commute right now. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
2 people are facing more than 200 days in jail after stealing from a Lehigh hobby store and severely injuring an employee. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla.
The pair, Gavin Drake Huss and Riley Deborah Shellman, went into a Madman's hobby store in Lehigh and took an RC car. After running out, an employee tried to follow and talk to them, but it did not end with a talk. That employee, Mark Wilson, had to hop onto the back of their truck to avoid being smashed between 2 cars. They then sped off with him barely hanging on. He eventually flew off and the truck ran over both of his legs, breaking multiple bones and giving him some extreme road rash. Huss will serve a year in jail. Shellman will serve just over 200 days. But both of them will have 3 years of probation. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
Visitors may soon have more camping options near Zion National Park. KSL News Radio's Isabella Sosa has more.
The campsites are part of a Bureau of Land Management project to add 2 new campgrounds along SR 9 between Hurricane and Zion National Park, as well as a new trailhead and event staging area. One campground would be on Gooseberry Mesa Road, and the other would be along Sheep Bridge Road near Virgin. BLM Utah hopes the project will protect the land by giving visitors more camping options and therefore decrease unauthorized camping.
If the project gets approved, the BLM will find funding sources for the project. Wow, it is a mess on I-80 near Lake Point and on I-15 in both directions at Point of the Mountain. We'll get an update on emergency traffic coming up next.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see, quality you can feel, and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to cars4kids.org. That's cars with a K.
Emergency traffic on KSL News Radio at 6:39, brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Let's get another update from Cameron Elliott.
Well, the worst spot on our roads right now almost certainly has to be that complete closure of southbound I-15 at 146 South and Draper, but that's not to say that everything else is much better. We've also got a complete closure of southbound Mountain View Corridor by Camp Williams in Bluffdale, and we're looking at almost a complete closure on a couple of other roads. We're definitely seeing some improvement as we've only got 14 crashes now rather than 17, but we'll keep you updated as the morning traffic volumes really pick up. Aubrey?
We do have westbound I-80 closed at SR 36 in Lake Point, so you're going to see some big backups if you're trying to go westbound there. Eastbound also has a crash in the same spot. If you're trying to get out of Lake Point right now in SR 36, you'll see heavy delays as you try to merge onto I-80 there. And if you're trying to get off of the 201 westbound onto I-80 westbound, that off ramp there also has a crash. It's on the left shoulder. If you're over in Weber or Davis County, though, things are looking good for those drivers if you're heading from Ogden into downtown. Did the heavy rain cause a leak in your home? S&S Roofing offers protection with high-quality roofing, expert repairs, and durable materials. Visit snsroofingutah.com for your free quote today. I'm Aubrey Withridge in the KSL Traffic Center.
AM snow showers south of the Great Salt Lake. By afternoon, partly cloudy and 48. For tomorrow, we're going to go for 61, partly cloudy skies, up to 71, and mostly sunny by Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, it's 30 degrees downtown. All of the ways the Iran war is affecting our pocketbooks and the U.S. economy as a whole. We'll talk about that next on KSL News Radio.
Streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. Jeff Kaplan off this week. Time for a classic Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com.
The year was 1975, exhausted by Vietnam.
We have just been fiercely attacked.
And Watergate.
I shall resign the presidency.
Americans turned their attention away from the news. They danced to the Bee Gees. And for a brief moment, it seemed everybody was buying their own pet rock. This is real. It was a smooth stone that sat on a tuft of straw in a cardboard case that had air holes. $4, and you had your own pet. The instructions said you could teach your pet rock tricks. Like roll over.
The best place to teach your pet rock to roll over is on the side of a hill.
The pet rock was so popular in 1975, there was even a hit country song.
What you don't know about, don't knock. I'm in love with my pet rock.
The pet rock became a cultural touchstone that made the inventor, Gary Dahl, a millionaire. And if you weren't around in 1975, you might wonder if people had rocks in their heads, spending their hard-earned money like this. But we had the same thing. Thousands of people in 2021 spent $110 to buy 4 ounces of dirt. Do you know about the Boo movement? #Boo, Black Oxygen Organics. It was a Canadian company selling what they called fulvic acid derived from ancient organic matter. In other words, dirt, which supposedly rid the body of toxins, and the company marketed Boo as a gift from the ground. Middle fingers waving at Big Pharma, pandemic-weary people bought Boo to lose weight, cure disease, regrow hair, and more, and all they were doing was eating dirt. Their Facebook group had 100,000 members, but under pressure from U.S. and Canadian regulators, Boo voluntarily shut down its business just before Thanksgiving. So if you think boomers were crazy for buying rocks, some millennials were snookered by fast-talking salesmen into eating dirt.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
While the weather's mild, it's a perfect time to get your air conditioner ready for summer. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and the next time you're outside, take a look at your air conditioner. There's a few things you can do to avoid common breakdowns that happen at the beginning of the season. If you covered it for the winter, uncover it. If the bushes and shrubs are growing around it, make sure you trim them back about 18 to 24 inches. If the coils are dirty, rinse them off with your garden hose. Then go inside and make sure you have a clean filter. If you do all that and find yourself with an air conditioner that isn't working, consider calling Any Hour Services. We have an air conditioner troubleshooting special for any homeowners listening. For only $29, we'll send a certified HVAC technician to your home to troubleshoot why your air conditioner isn't working. Then they'll give you a summary of their findings and present you options to repair it. To find out why your air conditioner isn't working for only $29, call Any Hour Services today at 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL News Time, 6:44. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
attorneys for the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk say prosecutors violated a judge's gag order, and they want the Utah County Attorney's Office held in contempt of court. I'm KSL News Radio's Don Brinker-Haas.
Second, Utah Representative Blake Moore is trying to convince members of Congress putting $1 billion toward restoring the Great Salt Lake that it's worth it.
Third, traffic and weather together.
Southbound I-15 in Draper still closed while emergency vehicles work on cleaning up the scene, but we've got the shoulder of westbound I-80 in Tooele open, letting through a trickle of traffic. Let's hope that means an opening soon. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking for a cold afternoon with sunshine, but then warmer over the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 30 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Another round of ceasefire talks between the United States and Iran could be coming this weekend. President Trump hinting at that before leaving for Las Vegas last night.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we have a very good relationship with Iran right now, as hard as it is to believe. And I think it's a combination of about 4 weeks of bombing and a very powerful blockade. The blockade is maybe more powerful than the bombing, if you want to know the truth.
The truce between Israel and Lebanon appears to be holding, possibly clearing a major obstacle to the deal between the U.S. and Iran. Leaders of France, the U.K., and dozens of other countries are meeting in Paris today to push plans for what happens after the Strait of Hormuz reopens. Officials say European airports could see a lot fewer flights as more cancellations could be put in place while supplies of jet fuel run low. Ford is recalling almost 1.5 million F-150 pickup trucks because of a gear shift issue. This is ABC News.
Let's go in depth now. The Iran war is impacting the economy in multiple ways, but what can Americans expect in the upcoming weeks?
ABC News business and economics reporter Mason Leith joins us live. If the ceasefire continues, Mason, what can we expect in the next few weeks?
Yes, good morning to you both. And that is the question of the moment, because here's the reality, which is that a ceasefire is not a peace deal. If the fighting resumes, all bets are entirely off. We could see oil spike past recent highs, inflation could reaccelerate, the Fed could even face pressure to act in ways that could affect our economy very broadly. Right now, the ceasefire is in place. It matters. And what economists are saying is that they feel as though most of the financial pressure that we've been feeling domestically in the past few weeks will start to ease. Oil markets tend to stabilize when geopolitical risk recedes, and that translates into lower prices at the gas station for us, hopefully within the next few weeks. But what I will say in terms of gas prices is that they tend to go up like a rocket and come down like a feather. So we're going to have to wait and see.
Mason, did the Iran war change the direction of the economy, or did it just speed up the direction of the economy?
That's a really, really great question. I think, writ large, the economy has been facing a lot of inflation, some price surging. The Iran war definitely just spiked everything very dramatically, because what we're seeing is that, when the global oil markets are fluctuating, when energy costs are surging, everything from shipping to food production is being disrupted from the Gulf region. And these are global industries. So what's happening in that region really does affect us at our doorstep.
I'm watching the stock market go up and wondering, do they know something we don't? Does it look like peace is on our doorstep since they seem so positive?
Well, that's a great point that you bring up. And this is something that I've been following as well, in that people are very, very bullish at the stock market right now. And that tends, historically speaking, and I hope this is the case, tends to be a harbinger of good things to come. Because markets are very, very reactive very, very quickly. So when the stock market's going up, historically speaking, it has tended to be a very good sign.
Wow, that's a lot to keep track of. And there's so many things that are with just the delicate nature of things. Is it true about food prices that they bump up and come down like a feather? Or is that just mostly oil?
Mostly oil, but food prices are a little bit more fluid. But, one of the things that I think has surprised most people is that how much this conflict has, affected your grocery bill. The food production, the food distribution, these have all been affected by supply chains that are being affected by this conflict. So those hopefully will start to come back down a little bit quicker than oil and gas and diesel. But, right now it's a very tenuous piece. And so everyone's kind of waited with bated breath.
We appreciate your time, Mason. Thank you. Mason Leith with us, ABC News business and economics reporter on the In-Depth at 15 and 45.
Time for another check of emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. And Cam, that point of the mountain just looks horrible.
Well, I've got good news, which is that the southbound I-15, we've opened 3 lanes. Yeah, and I've got terrible news, which is that northbound is now closed and they are diverting traffic onto Highland Drive. So we're going to see some serious traffic as we are now reaching rush hour with northbound I-15 coming past Point of the Mountain completely closed. We've also got a couple of other road closures. We've got southbound Mountain View corridor in Salt Lake County. That's also in Bluffdale. That's completely closed as well due to an accident. We've got a smattering of other accidents. We've got about 13 in total, but that's down from 17 earlier. Looking over at Tooele County, things are looking a little better, but I'll let Aubrey tell you about that. Mainly right now, we just want people to take it slow as they go through Bluffdale. Just make sure that you build in a lot of extra time for that traffic that you're going to run into. Aubrey?
Well, it looks like you can get by now on westbound I-80 on the right shoulder there, so you are able to get through, but it is still looking slow through that area. This is westbound I-80 at SR 36. We do still have our eastbound crash in that same area there. It looks like our left lane is still blocked, so if you're coming out of Lake Point on SR 36 through that construction zone, you're going to have heavy traffic all the way through as you merge onto I-80. Once you get past that crash, though, it looks good as you're traveling eastbound on I-80 there. Over in Weber and Davis County, things have been looking good there all morning. We haven't had any delays. I-15, Legacy Parkway, Highway 89, those are all moving freely. This Mother's Day, treat mom to something unforgettable at The Roof with their brand new spring into summer brunch menu she'll love. Celebrate mom in style above the heart of Salt Lake City. The Roof, SLC.com. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. I got 48 expected this afternoon, definitely on the chilly side with partly cloudy skies. 61 by Saturday, partly cloudy. 74, mostly sunny skies on Sunday. That warming trend will continue into next week. Monday, I got 79, partly cloudy. Mixture of sunshine and passing clouds on Tuesday, 80 degrees with a south breeze. That south breeze will usher in another small storm on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 30% chance for a shower, 66. I got a 61 next Thursday with a chance for rain. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now it's cloudy and cold, 30 degrees downtown, and the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Get your yard ready with Rich Lawn. Spring is here, and it's time to bring your lawn back to life. Start with Rich Lawn Turf Food, an organic-based fertilizer that feeds your soil and keeps your grass greener longer. Looking for professional-grade results? Organic 100 delivers the nutrients your lawn needs to thrive. And for the finishing touches, Rich Lawn has you covered with Iron Rich for yellowing lawns, Easy Green Grass Seed, and Grow Rich Garden Fertilizer. Put in the work, trust Rich Lawn, and enjoy a yard you'll be proud of. Available at Home Depot and independent garden centers.
It's spring. You get outside and it's obvious your house needs painting. Make an appointment with CertaPro Painters. They'll give you a free estimate quickly and at the right price. And they make the entire process easy with reliable updates and communication. They know how important your home is to you. True professionals, they're committed to quality and exceptional service at the right price. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
An emergency can happen any second. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. When you need medical care fast, the closest emergency room is a smart thing to know. Common Spirit Health ERs are your direct path between feeling scared or uncomfortable and feeling better. Find emergency care in your neighborhood at mountain.commonspirit.org.
Let's get another look at emergency traffic. Back over to you, Cam.
Well, right now, northbound I-15 is looking absolutely monstrous from what I can see on the cameras right now. They're diverting all of the traffic, it looks like, to Highland Drive. Highland Drive is just simply not built for this kind of volume of traffic, so even if you're headed northbound on Highland, it's going to be extremely slow going headed northbound. We're looking at a snake of traffic that stretches all the way from that exit on Highland Drive on northbound I-15. It goes all the way back past Point of the Mountain, nearly to Thanksgiving Point. Southbound, unfortunately, not a much better story. They have opened 3 lanes again, as opposed to it being closed all morning, but I think that those volumes have built up behind it. We're going to see that well into the rush hour and maybe perhaps into the midday. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Anyone who shopped at Trader Joe's in 2019 could get part of a $7.4 million settlement. It says receipts from back then showed too many digits from customers' debit and credit cards. The chain denies any wrongdoing, but it says it's settled to avoid a prolonged legal fight.
Nutella is going beyond the hazelnut. The company is launching a new flavor for the first time. It's Nutella Peanut. What do you think about that, Andy?
I think it might get me to try it.
Oh, you don't like regular Nutella?
I'm not a big fan of it.
It combines the traditional flavor you know and love, at least I know it, with roasted peanuts. It's available at stores across the U.S. now.
Netflix shares fell dramatically after chairman and co-founder Reed Hastings said he's on the way out. Reuters reports it has investors worried about the growth, or lack thereof. It follows a failed deal between Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery.
Futures markets are up. That's good news. The Dow futures up 363, S&P up 33, the Nasdaq futures up 121.
Well, in addition to that northbound 15 closure at Point of the Mountain, we've got I-80 westbound almost closed. There's only one far right shoulder open just before Lake Point. Both directions are a mess there in Tooele County. We'll check your commute again next.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
At KSL News Radio, we have a 30-year legacy of honoring Utah teachers, but we can't do it without your help. Please tell us about an important teacher in your life on the KSL Teacher Tribute Wall, presented by Cypress Credit Union. Each month, one lucky teacher wins a $500 gift card from Cypress Credit Union, a $250 gift card to Harmon's, plus season tickets to Hale Center Theater. Say thanks to your teacher today at kslnewsradio.com/teacher from Cypress Credit Union and KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 6:59. Emergency traffic on the 9s brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Let's go back to the traffic center. Cameron Elliott.
Well, I wish I had better news for you, but it's still just as bad as ever. Those closures on northbound I-15 are still pushing all the traffic off to Highland Drive, except it looks like Highland Drive is just filled up to capacity because traffic is at a complete stop. Taking a look at those stoppages, it's going all the way from that Highland Drive exit, stretches all the way back, and it's just about touching Thanksgiving Point right now. Taking a look southbound, the traffic story is not much better. There are lanes open southbound as opposed to the closures all morning, but those delays are stretching all the way back from that Highland Drive exit, and that goes up to about, I would say it goes up to 123rd South in Draper, and that is bad news. Otherwise, in Tooele, well, I'll let Aubrey tell you about that. Aubrey?
Well, we do have a westbound crash, and it is blocking all the lanes except for you can get through on the right shoulder right now. This is at SR 36 in Lake Point. The backups start right around the 201 Freeway Junction and head over into Lake Point area. And we do have an eastbound crash there as well. So you're going to see some slowing if you're coming out of the Grantsville area. And also, if you're coming from Mills Junction over to the merge to I-80, that's looking really slow through that area as well. So just give yourself some time to get out of Tooele this morning. I'm Aubrey with Rich in the KSL Traffic Center.
It's cold today. It'll get a little warmer this afternoon, but we won't get much above 48 degrees. Then tomorrow we warm up to 61 with lots of sunshine. We're in the 70s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, up to 80 on Tuesday. Right now it's 30 degrees downtown.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 7 o'clock on Utah's Morning News. I'm Andy Farnsworth.
And I'm Amanda Dixon. KSL's top story on the 7 o'clock report.
A burst of lake-effect snow early this morning turned a few sections of Utah, Salt Lake, and Tooele counties into a sheet of ice, and it's had a major impact on the commute this morning.
KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff is out on the roads in the south end of the Salt Lake Valley and joins us live. Don?
Amanda, driving in southwest Salt Lake County is kind of a scary situation. The roads seem dry, you're driving along, and then suddenly they're wet, and it's just cold enough that wet is ice. As you go over the bridges, those are icy. I was driving on Bangerter Highway, normal highway speeds, and then you'd come up to those bridges, and you could just see that it was frozen, and you'd feel a little bit of slippage as you'd kind of hit that bridge, and then you come back off, and, of course, a little bit scary as you dropped off of there. and I pulled into a parking lot, and just to test kind of how the roads are, I hit the brakes. I was only doing about 5 miles an hour, and I slid forward several feet. Reporting live from Harriman, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Lieutenant Cameron Roden with Utah Highway Patrol joins us live now to talk about these driving conditions. Lieutenant Roden, what are you guys trying to do to help get the icy conditions to dissipate a little bit?
Well, we've got a lot of congestion on several of the roadways, and so they've had to close certain sections in order to be able to get UDOT into those areas to get salt down, to help us to get some of the ice broken up, help us get some of these crashes cleared out. So people are going to encounter intermittent closures in certain areas. We've got kind of three main hot spots right at the moment. We've got one right near Tooele County, one near the point of the mountain on I-15. I heard they just closed I-15 northbound for a little bit, and they just reopened Bangerter Highway at Redwood Road. So several different areas where we're working lots of crashes right now.
Do you have any idea, Lieutenant, how long that closure will be in place at the point of the mountain?
A lot of that depends on how quickly they can get some of the crashes cleared out. If the conditions start to improve and we can get UDOT in the area to help get some salt down, it should be fairly quick. But the one southbound lasted a little over an hour, so hopefully not quite that long because we know that it impacts that commuter traffic.
Are you guys having to do anything over on Mountain View Corridor, kind of in that same stretch near where Point of the Mountain is?
I know I have heard some issues with Mountain View Corridor near the Porter Rockwell area. I'm not as familiar with what's going on in that area, but anywhere you go in the kind of the Wasatch Front area, you are going to encounter black ice. So really slow down. Even though the conditions may look okay, that black ice is hard to spot.
We appreciate your time. Lieutenant Cameron Roden with the Utah Highway Patrol. Let's get back to the KSL Traffic Center where Cam Elliott is keeping track of the closures and crashes. Cameron?
Well, the number of accidents is whittling down. Right now, we're looking at about 11 total on the roads, but I hate to say it, the damage has already been done on I-15. We're still looking at that closure, that complete closure on northbound I-15. I'm looking at the cameras right now, and we've got vehicles just blocking off all the traffic, diverting it to Highland Drive, which is simply not built for that kind of traffic volume. For southbound I-15, there are some lanes open again, but unfortunately, I mean, it's just not letting through enough traffic. And I'm not even talking about the delays that we have up in Tooele, where those crashes have completely blocked off a section that completely wraps around that kind of Lake Point area due to two jackknifed semis earlier. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, it's time for to check in with KSL Weather and Matt Johnson, who says most of the snow's gone, but we got some decent totals in the mountains.
So we picked up a little bit of snow, yes, on April 16th and now into the 17th this morning. Total so far, Alta, 8 inches, Bountiful, 4, Centerville, Tooele, City Creek, all with about an inch of snow, and then the Ogden Bench in West Lehigh picking up about a half inch of snow. There are some lingering snow showers, mainly south of the Great Salt Lake, so Tooele Valley, Lake Point, and even the southwest end of the Salt Lake Valley. Really, this is just a morning deal for the next couple of hours, and then it should taper off as we head through mid-morning.
Matt says once the freezing temperatures move out this morning, we start a warming trend for the weekend, and we'll be near 80 degrees by Monday.
Also developing this morning, attorneys for the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk want prosecutors held in contempt of court. Tyler Robinson's defense team claims the Utah County Attorney's Office violated a gag order when they leaked information about a ballistics report. That report says the bullet that killed Kirk cannot be tied directly to Tyler Robinson's rifle. The defense team also wants the county attorney to turn over any correspondence they've had with the media since March. Robinson will be in court this morning at 10 a.m. and we'll be there in the courtroom to cover today's developments.
First Look Traffic is emergency traffic. Cam, update us on which roads are blocked and which ones are closed.
Well, right now we've got northbound I-15 is entirely blocked, causing backups all the way from Draper back to Thanksgiving Point. Southbound I-15 in the same area, just not much of a better story. We've got backups all the way from 146 South up to 126 South. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL's top national stories this hour. A new ceasefire is in effect between Israel and Lebanon this morning. Israel has been attacking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon since the war with Iran started. ABC's Marcus Moore is following the new developments for us this morning.
It really came as encouraging news for so many across the region, not only here in Lebanon but in surrounding countries who've been watching this a crisis unfold for weeks now. Since March 2nd, some 2,200 people have been killed, and there have been scores of injuries, and also nearly 1.2 million people have been displaced from their homes.
Critics point out that the ceasefire agreement did not include Hezbollah in the negotiations. The Iranian-backed group has been responsible for firing rockets into Israeli territory.
The Department of Homeland Security now owns all the land under the Salt Lake City warehouse they bought. The department paid $145 million for the warehouse, but then later it was found it sat on 2 plots of land, and one wasn't part of the original sale. Now a new deed shows $10 was paid in cash to include the second plot. Salt Lake County Assessor Chris Stavros says this makes sense.
All that does to me is reinforce that the purchase included both parcels.
Federally owned land is exempt from property taxes, meaning the other property owners in the area will be paying more to make up for the lost revenue.
Utahns keep losing millions to scams. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis joins us live. Brianna?
Amanda, scammers will use anything to get to your wallet, impersonating salesmen, tech support, and even going so far to act like a romantic partner. In Utah last year, AARP says 126 people reported fraud, with total losses coming out to over $2.5 million. The biggest contributor to those losses, criminals acting like a big business, most commonly Amazon. Nationwide, Amazon impersonators take around $19 million a year. Coming in second and third is identity theft and online dating and romance scams. Adults between 50 and 65 are especially vulnerable to these scams as they spend more time online. Live, Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
A Draper prosecutor will not be filing domestic violence charges against Taylor Frankie Paul or her ex-boyfriend Dakota Mortensen. They tell investigators the 2 influencers were not credible witnesses to the alleged crimes, and there is insufficient corroborating evidence to support filing criminal charges. The pair will be back in court on April 30th, when a commissioner will take a look at visitation issues and requested protective orders. Emergency traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Let's check back in with Cameron Elliott.
Well, we've still got that traffic being diverted off of northbound I-15 as you come through Draper at Highland Drive. We've got those backups. They're sitting all the way back. They're now passing Thanksgiving Point. They're just about touching SR 92. That's a 110th North over in Highland. This is really bad, and it's not getting much better on southbound, where backups are going all the way from 146 south to just about 126 south as we wait for those roads to kind of clear up. But unfortunately, just due to increasing traffic volumes because of the morning commute, I don't think that's going to get better anytime soon. How about you tell us up in Tooele, Aubrey?
Well, right now we do have all the lanes blocked on westbound I-80, but they are letting traffic through on the right shoulder. This is at SR 36, and the backups are backed up to about the 201 freeway there. If you're traveling eastbound, it's not any better there. We do have a crash at SR 36 there as well. It is blocking the left lane, so you won't see good traffic until you get past that crash, and you are still coming through that construction zone on SR 36, so you'll have slowdowns from Mills Junction all the way through I-80 right around Great Saltaire is when you start seeing those traffic delays ease. If you're coming through Weber or Davis County, though, right now things are looking pretty good there if you're traveling into downtown Salt Lake City. Performance Automotive in Bountiful, endless possibilities with 3 locations: Performance Ford Lincoln, Performance Honda, and Performance Toyota, where excellence is standard. Start your search at performancebountiful.com. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL hourly forecast. I got temperatures cold at 7 a.m. in the upper 20s and low 30s for majority of the Wasatch Front. There will be some lingering snow showers mainly south of the Great Salt Lake. By lunch hour, I've got partly cloudy skies, everybody drying out. Temperatures right around 39 degrees. Bit of a northwest breeze today, nothing too strong, but man, you'll be feeling it. Highs only top in the upper 40s with partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now it's 30 degrees downtown. We'll focus on small business in Utah coming up in just a moment on KSL News Radio.
Also developing this morning, Utah's governor, Senate president, and House Speaker are launching an investigation into a state Supreme Court justice. They're looking into allegations that Justice Diana Hagan had a relationship with an attorney arguing cases before the court.
KSL TV's Daniel Woodruff reports the investigation comes after a complaint was submitted against Justice Hagan to the body that investigates allegations against judges.
This investigation follows a complaint that had been submitted against Justice Hagan to the body here in the state that investigates allegations against judges.
That complaint, obtained exclusively by KSL through a public records request, was submitted by an attorney to the state's Judicial Conduct Commission. That attorney said he communicated with Justice Diana Hagan's ex-husband, who told him the justice had exchanged inappropriate text messages with David Ryman, one of the attorneys involved in a high-profile case about redistricting. That case led to Utah getting a new congressional map. Hagan's ex-husband alleged the justice and Ryman exchanged text messages that started out as silly but then became more suggestive. Justice Hagan strongly denies allegations of an inappropriate relationship of any kind, as does Ryman, calling them false. As a note, Ryman does outside legal work for KSL and represents the Utah Media Coalition, of which KSL is a member. Justice Hagan says she recused herself from any cases involving Ryman after the two renewed their longtime friendship. The Judicial Conduct Commission conducted a preliminary investigation into the allegations, but ultimately decided not to go further. That's troubling to Governor Spencer Cox, Senate President Stuart Adams, and House Speaker Mike Schultz. An initial review by the Judicial Conduct Commission and the court left important questions unresolved, they said in a joint statement to KSL. Allegations of this nature, especially involving public officials, must be examined with transparency and accountability to establish the facts and to maintain public confidence. They went on to say, we will move forward with an independent investigation to ensure the facts are fully examined. This process will be conducted objectively and thoroughly because maintaining trust in our institutions is essential.
That was Daniel Woodruff reporting. It's unclear when this investigation will begin or who specifically will be conducting it. You can read more about this story on our website, ksl.com.
The Utah Mammoth ended up having a rough night, losing to the St. Louis Blues in their regular season finale, even after a decent start.
Carconia shot, score! Right down the slot. We're tied at 1.
But now the team is turning their attention to the playoffs, where they'll face the Las Vegas Golden Knights on Sunday in Game 1 of a 7-game series.
Trending this hour on the 7 o'clock report, pop star Olivia Rodrigo has just dropped a single and music video for her new album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. The full album is set to release on June 12th. Since the announcement of the album, her first 2 albums, Sour and Guts, have been surging in streams.
Well, big news out of CinemaCon. Top Gun 3 is officially confirmed. Tom Cruise is set to return as Maverick, and it comes after an extremely successful sequel a few years ago. We know it's confirmed, but so far, no release date set.
Will he play the same coach or teacher of the other pilots?
Well, I mean, I would assume he's going to be Maverick.
Yeah, he'll be Maverick, but yeah.
But what will he be doing?
Don't know exactly.
Yeah, will any of the other actors be returning?
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn Powell. We had.
Glenn Powell was awesome.
Yeah, he didn't play Goose's son. Who played Goose? Oh, Miles Teller.
Right. Yeah, right. He was great too.
Some of those people have gone on to do a lot of other things now. So let's see about get the gang back together. KSL News Time 7:14. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
attorneys for the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk say prosecutors violated a judge's gag order, and they want the Utah County Attorney's Office held in contempt of court. I'm KSL News Radio's Don Brinker-Haas.
Second, Draper City's mayor says he knows people are frustrated about new high-density housing projects going up, but he says the city is following state policy.
Third, traffic and weather together.
Still no relief on northbound I-15 with closures causing backups all the way from Draper to Thanksgiving Point. Southbound isn't much better with backups from 146 South to 126 South in Draper. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Afternoon highs topping in the upper 40s, but then a warm up for the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's 30 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston.
President Trump says another round of ceasefire talks with Iran could be happening within the next few days, possibly as soon as this weekend. At the White House, here's ABC senior political correspondent Rachel Scott.
President Trump says the war with Iran should be over soon, claiming it's going swimmingly.
I will say the war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon. It was perfect.
The ceasefire with Iran is set to expire in just 5 days.
And as of now, no talks are scheduled, but they could be. The 10-day pause in fighting between Israel and Lebanon is holding, even though both sides took it right up until when the deal began before they stopped fighting.
The fighting continued in Lebanon right until midnight when the 10-day ceasefire began, greeted by volleys of gunfire into the air. Overnight, President Trump warning the Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah, posting no more killing.
ABC chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell in Tel Aviv. Some European airlines say they might have to begin grounding planes soon if the shortage of jet fuel continues much longer. An ICE agent in Minneapolis, Gregory Morgan Jr., is facing 2 second-degree assault charges for driving illegally on the shoulder of a road in that city in early February and pointing his gun at another car.
The agent claims the car swerved to cut him off. He says he then pulled up alongside them on the shoulder and admitted to drawing his weapon out of fear for his own safety and the safety of others. Prosecutors aren't convinced.
ABC's Pierre Thomas. The acting head of ICE, Todd Lyons, is resigning. He says it's not because of policy. It's because he wants to be at home for his son's senior year of high school. 600,000 worshipers attending an outdoor mass in Cameroon, celebrated by Pope Leo. During his homily, he urged young people to resist temptation and corruption and instead work to serve the common good. You're listening to ABC News.
Let's go in depth now. Several Utah businesses are being honored today for their contributions and success here in the state.
Attending today's event is the Rocky Mountain Small Business Regional Administrator, Justin Everett, and he joins us now live. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning. I'm glad you guys cut to the news, because if I had to follow the announcement of Top Gun 3, I'm like, no one's going to listen to this interview.
Tell us about...
I'm excited about Top Gun 3, because the first one came out when I think I was a freshman in high school, which, of course, it was epic, and so many people went to the movie theater millions of times to go see that thing. Yeah, and so now we're at 3. But glad you guys did the news as a lead-in. So,
well, Justin, tell us a little bit about who you're honoring today and the impact small businesses have on Utah.
Yeah, our small business person of the year is Beacon Door and Lock, and they're out of Salt Lake City. We toured that business last year. It's fantastic. Made in America, checks all the boxes of what we're looking at in Utah. Our rural small business of the year is Cedar Bear Naturals out of Ballard, Utah. So it's sort of all over the state. Our manufacturer is Western Timber Frame of, I'm going to say this one wrong. Is it Lehi, Utah?
That's it.
Good, I got that one right. And then our lenders, we have a really robust lending environment here in Utah. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I don't know how much time we have, but we're very competitive. There's 10 of us, 10 regional administrators nationally. So we're always competitive on who has the best numbers. And I always brag upon, Region 8, which is the Rocky Mountains, and especially Utah. So they tried to take me down a peg after we saw the numbers at the end of the year. And the South Florida district, so the entire southern half of Florida, was number 1, or supposedly number 1. And so I said, well, what's the population of Metro Miami? And he said, I don't know, close to maybe 13 million or something like that. And I said, okay, well, that's the entire population of my entire region. And if you just break it down to Utah at about 3.5 million people, and the amount of volume that we did here in Utah in lending and getting money and access to capital and money in the hands of small businesses, it wasn't even close. So our lenders here in Utah are just fantastic, and they're number 1 in the nation. And there's a reason why I've been in Utah. I think I counted this my 17th time in the last year I've been in Utah, because such the robust, business environment that you guys have here. It's just absolutely amazing.
I love the great story we have to tell. Justin, thank you. Justin Everett with us, the Rocky Mountain Small Business Regional Administrator.
The Utah District Office's Celebration Awards luncheon taking place today at the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium in Draper from 11:30 to 1. That's the in-depth at 15 and 45. Time for another check of emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Save big, build smart with construction loans at UCCU. And here's Cam Elliott.
Well, things aren't getting any better, I'll tell you that right now. Unfortunately, we are looking at less crashes in the valley. Right now, we only have 9, but two of those are the ones that are closing down I-80 and I-15. Let me tell you about that I-15 crash. Right now, we're looking at a complete divergence of traffic. They're putting traffic off of northbound I-15 onto Highland Drive, and that is causing backups. That's causing backups all the way from that exit on Highland Drive, all the way past Point of the Mountain, right up until it's just about reaching that 2100 North in Lehigh. That's how far back that's reaching. Now, southbound, that was closed all morning, but they have opened 3 of the lanes on the right side. People are getting through, but those delays aren't much better. They're stretching all the way back from that Highland Drive exit. They're going all the way back to just about halfway between the two exits at 123rd South in Draper. But things aren't looking too much better in Tooele. Tell me about that, Aubrey.
Well, right now we do have all the lanes blocked on westbound I-80 at SR 36, but they are letting traffic through on the right shoulder there, but you will see backups to about the 201 freeway there. And if you're traveling eastbound, it looks like our crash is out of traffic now, but we will still see those residual delays from Mills Junction all the way to the I-80 merge on SR 36. And if you are on the 201 freeway traveling westbound trying to get onto I-80 westbound, we had an earlier crash on that off-ramp there, and it looks like we are still seeing some slowdowns if you're trying to get onto I-80 there. If you're over in Weber and Davis County, though, that's a different story. We've had a good drive there all morning. If you're on I-15, Highway 89, Legacy Parkway, or the West Davis Corridor, you've got a good drive. When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cyprus Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypruscu.com today. I'm Aubrey Withridge in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. I got a 48 by this afternoon, more than 10 below the normal, with partly cloudy skies. 61, partly cloudy Saturday. Sunday looks great. 74 and mostly sunny skies. You're pushing 80 on Monday. Look for a high of 79 there, partly cloudy. Mixture of sunshine and clouds on Tuesday, 80 degrees with a south breeze. We then bring in more clouds on Wednesday, 30% chance for a shower, 66. How about a 61 with rain showers on next Thursday? From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now it's 30 degrees downtown, and the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. Industrial Supply Company provides tools, equipment, and safety products businesses need to keep things running. They also help manage inventory and streamline supply chains, making operations easier and more efficient. CEO Jessica Urgaitis joins us with more.
Industrial Supply Company has been part of Salt Lake's business community for 110 years. As a fourth-generation family business, our roots run deep in this region, and so do our relationships. Industrial Supply is one of the Intermountain West's leading industrial distributors. We supply the safety equipment, tools, and facility products that keep Utah's workforce protected and productive. From the mining operations across our state to the construction sites reshaping our skyline to the manufacturers who keep our economy moving. What's kept us here for over a century isn't our product catalog. It's the trust we've built with the industries and people that make this region run. Some of our customer relationships span multiple generations. That kind of loyalty is earned one interaction at a time. Salt Lake City has built something remarkable here and continues to do so. Industrial Supply has been proud to be part of it for 110 years, and we look forward to what comes next.
Family businesses fuel Utah's economy and are the heart of our communities. Learn more about Industrial Supply Company and their products at indsupply.com. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
Most people prefer a local company. That's why you're seeing more and more Big League Lawns on your street. We hear it all the time. My neighbor uses you guys, and their lawn looks amazing. Thicker, greener, just better. Big League Lawns started right here in Utah 10 years ago, and it didn't take long for people to notice. Along the way, they've left more than 1,600 5-star reviews talking about it. Big League Lawns, built right here, chosen every day.
Mosquitoes were out before the grill was even hot. You lit the torches, sprayed the kids, swatted through dinner, and the mosquitoes still won. Call Skeeter Eater, a Utah company built for backyard living. Our family-friendly treatments and smart mosquito traps keep the fun going long after sunset. Get $40 off your first treatment now at SkeeterEater.com. Skeeter Eater. Stop the bites. Start the fun.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. NPR has received its largest donation from a living donor in the network's history. It was $80 million from philanthropist and co-founder of the Ballmer Group, Connie Ballmer. An anonymous gift of $33 million was also received. It comes after the Trump administration clawed back $500 million in annual funding for public broadcasters.
Companies are getting ready to file for tariff refunds. That system goes live on Monday, but Reuters reports some people are worried about how busy it's going to be and whether the system will crash.
Well, Gatorade not just aiming at athletes anymore. The PepsiCo-owned brand is planning to launch Gator Light Longer Lasting. It has 3 times the electrolytes as Gatorade Thirst Quencher, and it aims to help people stay hydrated. It could be released as early as 2027.
Wow, look at this. The futures are way up just 4 minutes from the opening bell. The Dow futures are now up over 1%. We're up 554 points. The S&P futures up 63. That's 0.9%. The NASDAQ futures up 298. That is also over 1 full percent.
Well, things are still a mess trying to get into Utah County, whether you're taking I-15, whether you're taking Redwood Road, whether you're taking Mountain View Corridor, all of them seeing huge backups, and northbound remains closed just over Point of the Mountain at the Bluffdale exit. We'll check your commute next.
You've heard people talk about how the way you see life is affected by the lens you look through, right? So the lens affects whether you see things in a positive or negative way. And I think that's true for the windows you look out of from your home. How are you seeing the world? What are those windows like? How big are they? How much of the world do you see? Do you get to see sunsets in all their glory? Do you get to see storms rolling in? I mean, do you get to see even the hard work you do in your backyard? I want to talk to you about Peach Windows and Doors, because they do replacement windows and they do custom windows, and they handle projects of all sizes and all complexities. You want to take out an entire wall and replace it with glass? They can do that. They have energy efficient windows. The windows made now are so much better than the ones when your home was built that you could do it for that reason alone. These insulated frames that reduce your energy costs are just awesome. I started online. I went online to peachwindowsanddoors.com and I started looking and I went, oh my gosh, look at those kitchen windows. Those are so cool. They like tilt and turn. You can open them and then tilt them. I love that. And then I found out more about Peach as a company and how not all window installation companies are the same. You need someone who is super professional, who is focused on you and the architecture of your home. So you can go to their showroom in Salt Lake and see it for yourself in person, which is always great. Or do what I did. Start online and see what they've done with Utah homes. PeachWindowsandDoors.com.
Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit. Make a plan. Be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
The movie shows at Minky Couture in Layton today from 10 to 1. Minky Couture, the original creator of cozy indulgence with unmatched softness and premium quality. Visit minkycouture.com. Emergency traffic at 7:29, brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Cameron, what's the update?
Well, the update is things are still not looking great. Northbound I-15 still fully closed, diverting all that traffic onto Highland Drive, causing some major backups. Those backups, in fact, are going from Highland Drive, wrapping around Point of the Mountain, and just about right now they are touching 2100 North in Lehigh. Quickly, I'd like to tell you, I'm seeing a flipped vehicle on the right shoulder of 2100 North in Lehigh. It does look like emergency crews are on scene while they help the person inside the car, so please be slow through there and make room for emergency crews. Back to I-15 though, southbound, the delays are a little better than they were earlier, just because we've got some lanes open there. It looks to be about 3 of the right lanes open there, but it's still going to cause backups all the way from that Highland Drive exit and all the way back pretty much to 123rd South in Draper. How about up in Tooele, Aubrey?
Well, things are looking pretty bad over in Tooele as well. We do have all lanes blocked due to two jackknife semi-trucks. This is on westbound I-80 at SR 36. You can get by on the right shoulder, though, but you will start seeing those delays right around the 201 freeway and not easing until you get into almost the Grantsville area. And if you are traveling eastbound, we had an earlier crash in that same spot, but it looks like that's moved off the freeway, but we will still see our construction delays from Mills Junction all the way to the I-80 merge, and also just residual delays from that earlier crash. Coming out of Weber and Davis County, though, things look pretty good there. Not seeing any delays as you travel from Ogden into Salt Lake City. And if you're coming through Parley's Canyon, that's looking good there as well. Use Superior Water and Air for all your HVAC and water treatment needs. Call 974-9090 or visit superiorwaterandair.com. Superior Water and Air, we got this. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
We'll only get up to 48 today. Right now it's 30 downtown.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News
with Andy Farnsworth and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning. KSL News Time, 7:31. KSL's top story this hour.
The calendar says April 17th, but this morning we're having one of the worst commutes we've seen in the past 6 months. It's all because of a band of lake effect snow that coated the roads with ice overnight in portions of Salt Lake, Utah, and Tooele counties.
KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff has been checking out traffic in the south end of the valley, and he joins us live now. Don?
Andy, I tried to get a look at that accident over on Mountain View down at the intersection with Redwood Road there. I couldn't even get close. The backup is clear up over the top of the mountain there, over the top of the hill into Salt Lake County. And people seem to have forgotten how to drive on wet, slick roads. I'm seeing high speeds on Bangerter, on Mountain View. I saw a motorcycle go by, just completely speeding, and then just a little bit south of where he was, the road starts to get wet, and then it gets icy. Temperatures are still below freezing. That means that there is ice on the road surfaces. Bridges, on and off ramps, I have kind of had a scary ride on several of those, and the sun is just about to come up here in Bluffdale. I'm hoping that that'll help start melting off some of this ice, and maybe we'll get some relief here in the next few minutes. Reporting live from Redwood Road in Bluffdale, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Cameron Elliott has been keeping track of all the major crashes and road closures this morning, and he joins us now from the traffic center. Cam?
Well, I can tell you, Amanda, things are going to get worse before they get better, unfortunately. We were joined earlier by Lieutenant Cameron Roden from the Utah Highway Patrol, who told us that those northbound lanes are actually being closed so they can improve the road conditions with things like salt, making sure that those roads are fit for traveling. In the meantime, it may be frustrating because it's just causing all of those delays. I mean, traffic is being redirected onto Highland Drive, and because of that, because that lane is closed, it's stretching now well past 2100 north in Lehigh, and heading southbound, they have opened up some lanes now because they can with those crashes being moved onto the shoulder, but those delays are still reaching from 146 south in Draper and headed all the way up to 123rd south also in Draper. It's just not looking good, and I don't think it's going to get much better as the morning commute drags on. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Got some breaking news. President Trump says the Strait of Hormuz is completely open and ready for business. In a post on Truth Social, he says the naval blockade will remain in full force and effect as it pertains to Iran. He also says most of the peace points with Iran have been negotiated and there should be a deal soon.
And as you just pointed out to me, Andy, the markets have shot way up in the first 4 minutes of trading. The Dow is up 1 3/10%. We're now at 49,221.
A Utah congressman is assuring Congress that the $1 billion President Trump has pledged to the Great Salt Lake is an investment worth making. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis joins us live now. Brianna?
Andy, Congressman Blake Moore made his case to the Office of Management and Budget Director this week while the expense was being reviewed.
The Great Salt Lake isn't just a namesake of Utah's capital city. It's an environmental and economic anchor for the whole Great Basin region, affecting air quality, snowpack, and thousands of jobs across the West.
The money will create a federal program designed to work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Environmental Protection Agency, who will work together to get more water into the lake. Live, Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
Extra water might be let out of Flaming Gorge to help the water levels in Lake Powell, but people who rely on the gorge say that would leave them high and dry. KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi.
Flaming Gorge might have to come to the aid of Lake Powell. The level of the southern Utah body of water is dangerously low, threatening the ability to generate electricity and provide water to downstream states. However, Cedar Springs Marina at Flaming Gorge is worried about how their operations will be affected. It may have to physically move to deeper waters or extend its operations further into the lake as the lake level drops. But that could make the marina susceptible to wind and waves that it doesn't face from its protected cove.
The decision on how much water to release from Flaming Gorge is expected to be announced on April 21st.
First look traffic. Here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, I'm telling you right now, things are not looking too hot. We've got the I-15 going all the way back, those delays going all the way back from 146 South in Draper, headed northbound, going all the way back to Thanksgiving Point, past Thanksgiving Point even. And it's not a much better story in Tooele, where those delays are stretching all the way from the just about the Lake Point exit, all the way past almost to the Great Salt Air. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
2 people have been sentenced for stealing from a hobby store and severely injuring an employee who tried to confront them. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla reports.
Gavin Drake Huss and Riley Deborah Shellman will serve 1 year and 200 days in jail, respectively, along with 3 years of probation for each. The crime itself was back in January when the two stole a remote-controlled car from a Madman's hobby store. Employee Mark Wilson followed the pair out to talk to them when their truck moved backwards. He hopped onto the back to avoid getting smashed. He tells KSL he remembers flying down the street, hanging onto the back, and then sliding off. The truck then ran over both of his legs, leaving him with broken bones and road rash. Huss turned himself in soon after, saying he just decided to steal the car while he was in there to buy a part. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
Visitors to Zion National Park might have more camping options in the future. The BLM has signed a decision to create 2 new campgrounds along the SR9 corridor between Hurricane and Zion National Park.
The location makes use of the lands that are already disturbed and will bring a new purpose to support recreation.
BLM Utah Public Affairs Specialist Ashley Snipes says for the past few years, unauthorized campers in the area have damaged the natural vegetation. She hopes that by bringing in new campsites and a new trailhead, visitors can still enjoy the area and help protect nature.
What a rough morning, Andy.
My goodness. North 15 remains closed. You won't be able to pass the 14600 South exit in Bluffdale. I would say you're better off exiting prior to that, but I'm not even sure that's the truth, because we've got Redwood backed up going into the valley. We've got a southbound Mountain View closed at Porter Rockwell Boulevard right now, and South 15 still backed up from the south end of Sandy all the way down to Point of the Mountain. We'll update all that emergency traffic plus more coming up next.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs change, kids grow up, new memes come and go. But what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no one battling for bandwidth for the next 5 years. All your devices will be working in perfect harmony with the equipment, with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though your kid will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, the price for your sharp, reliable internet will stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in. Deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Emergency traffic on KSL News Radio brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Let's get another update from Cameron Elliott.
Well, we're looking at a traffic hydra here. You cut one head off and 3 more appear. I mean, right now, of course, we have those delays on northbound I-15 as you head up through Draper, where they're diverting all of the traffic into that Highland Drive exit, and on southbound I-15, also in Draper, same exit, except that stretches all the way up to 126 South. But otherwise, we're looking at some serious trouble on Pioneer Crossing. We've, of course, I've got that one that I mentioned earlier headed east. That's going to be east of the Jordan River on Pioneer Crossing, blocking the right shoulder as a Jeep has flipped. It seems it flipped on its side. And then another one eastbound Pioneer Crossing at Mill Pond Road in Lehigh. That's got the left lane blocked as it looks like emergency crews are massing around somebody trying to help. How's it looking up in Tooele, Aubrey?
Well, we do still have this crash westbound I-80 at SR 36. You can get by on the right shoulder, but all the lanes are blocked there. That's causing backups to past the 201 freeway right now. And if you're traveling eastbound, it's not much better. If you're coming through Mills Junction on SR 36 to the I-80 merge, that's really slow there. And if you're coming from SR 179 out of the Grantsville area, that's also looking slow on eastbound I-80. And the 201 freeway itself looking pretty slow. Pockets of slowing all the way from Magna up to about 215 right now. Got an old car? Donate it at carsforkids.org. It's easy, and they'll pick it up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS today. I'm Aubrey Withridge in the KSL Traffic Center.
Cold air moving over the Great Salt Lake, allowing for a couple of lake-effect snow showers this morning, mainly south of the lake. Look for a high of 48 by this afternoon. Everything tapers off, partly cloudy. 61 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. By Sunday, mild, 74 and mostly sunny. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it's 30 degrees downtown. Coming up, Andy's going to tell us about the big movie of the week, Normal. That's just ahead on KSL News Radio.
Streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. Time for another classic, Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com.
The word is completely out of fashion, but the word groovy comes from jazz musicians in the 1930s and refers to the groove in a vinyl record. Can you feel the groove, man? I'm not sure Taylor Swift fans do, but she sold more grooves than any other recording artist last year, and it wasn't even close. The list of top-selling vinyl albums has been released, and Taylor Swift is number 1 by miles for 2025.
It's all good, I ain't gotta knock on wood.
But because she sells vinyl albums as collector's items, I think a lot of people who bought them don't even own a turntable. Her fans will never hear the crackle of anticipation before the music starts, nor after the final note will they hear that hypnotic thunk, thunk, thunk. But I think it's not just Swifties. Given some of the actual physical records on the list of top sellers, I'm going to venture a guess grown children, maybe the grandchildren, are buying a lot of vinyl albums and collecting the songs that Dad used to play in the car. For number 7 on last year's list is Fleetwood Mac, the Rumors album. And the number 8 vinyl album for 2025 is the best-selling album of all time. Still selling, Michael Jackson's Thriller. In a world where you can get all the music in the world for $10 a month, people are still buying music and feeling a groove laid down in 1982. That's incredible staying power. So you consider the best-selling book of all time, the Bible, has been number 1 for 1,500 years.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
As the #1 small business lender, Zions Bank helps entrepreneurs reach and exceed their goals. Visit your local branch or zionsbank.com/SBA. Equal housing lender.
Since 1947, Whipple Service Champions has been Utah's most trusted name for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical services. Got a high-priced repair bill from another company and you're just not sure about it? Call Whipple. Get a free, no-pressure estimate or bring us their quote for an honest second opinion. Totally free. Whipple Service Champions, Utah's first place for second opinions since 1947. Call 385-273-7167 for your free estimate today. 385-273-7167.
KSL News Time, 7:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah Congressman Blake Moore is letting Congress know the $1 billion President Trump promised for the Great Salt Lake will be a worthy investment. I'm KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis.
Second, it has been 11 years since Elizabeth Salgado disappeared in Provo and her body found years later in Hobble Creek Canyon, but no suspect in her murder was ever found.
Third, traffic and weather together.
Northbound I-15 closures causing backups from Draper all the way back to Thanksgiving Point. Southbound isn't much better with backups from 146 South and Draper up to 123rd South. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking for a cold afternoon with sunshine, but then warmer over the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 30 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump and Iran's foreign minister have just now both announced that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open. The price of crude instantly tumbling after those remarks. The markets are just now opening. They had been much higher in pre-market trading. ABC's Rachel Scott says there are 5 days left in the 2-week ceasefire between Iran and the U.S.
At the White House, the president also facing questions about his ongoing attacks on Pope Leo.
Lewis, I'm not fighting with him. The Pope made a statement. He says Iran can have a nuclear weapon. I say Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
The Pope never said that. He criticized the president for threatening to destroy an entire civilization in Iran and has preached a message of peace.
The Pope celebrating Mass in Cameroon today as his African tour continues. An estimated crowd of 600,000 people were there. Jet fuel prices worrying Europe. The price has roughly doubled since the start of the war, leading to some airlines saying they're going to cancel flights. This is ABC News.
We know a lot of you have been stuck in traffic for a long time this morning. If it's safe for you to do so, let us know how long you've been stuck in traffic and where. The KSL text line is 57500.
All right. Let's have a little fun diversion now.
Okay.
It's Movie Show Friday, and our big movie this week is called Normal.
You could build a whole new life here in Normal. We really celebrate the community.
Yeah, so it's called Normal, and when the movie starts, you see that that's an appropriate name. It's this small town in Minnesota where everybody knows each other. Nothing happens. Bob Odenkirk is a guy named Ulysses. He's the new sheriff by temporary appointment. The old sheriff passed away, and so he's just a temp sheriff till they can hold an election like a couple months later. But then this bank robbery happens. Just a couple of almost drifter-type people rob a bank, and from that moment on, everything changes, and Bob's character finds out nothing in the town is as normal as it seems.
Oh, no.
Now, this is a good fit for Bob Odenkirk. If you've seen the Nobody movies,
Yeah,
you know
I
where
did.
he's.
I like those.
You'd look at him and you wouldn't think of him as an action star, but they've managed to. This is now another one where it kind of helps convince you. He's just gone from goofy comedian. I mean, he was going to be Steve Carell's role on The Office at one point.
Yeah.
And now he's actually a legit action star. It's believable. I actually think his character is the highlight of the movie.
I love it.
There's the occasional absurd scene, and it's a dark action comedy. So you're going to laugh at things that you probably shouldn't laugh at, but they're still kind of funny when it's all played together. And there were some lines of dialogue. But I got to say, the warning is violence and gore go into absurd levels as well. Sometimes played for laughs, but some
More
people
so
don't
than
think
Nobody?
that. No, it's about the same.
Okay.
It's about the same as Nobody. But, I mean, it's rated R for good reason. But it just basically delivers on what it promises. Dark comedy and action.
All right. Where are you going to be today, Andy?
We will be at Minky Couture in Layton from 10 to 1 today.
Sounds good.
Time for another check of emergency traffic on KSL News Radio. texts are pouring in, by the way, in response to that. We'll read some of those in a minute. But right now, emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Let's build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, we've still got that northbound closure on I-15. It's going to stretch well into rush hours. We're seeing those volumes increase heavily, and they're not stopping. That exit, they're pushing everybody onto Highland Drive off of northbound I-15, and we've got thick traffic going all the way from there, all the way past Thanksgiving Point, all the way back to about 500 West in Lehigh. That's a long way. It's not looking too much better on southbound. It's actually looking pretty okay on southbound. We've got 3 lanes open on the right side, and we are seeing cars get through, but there is quite a bit of traffic between, Bangerter Highway, the Bangerter Highway entrance to southbound I-15, and the 123rd South in Draper. But looking over at Pioneer Crossing, things are getting pretty sticky around there because we've got 2 accidents. We've actually got 2 crashes as you head eastbound. One is a fully flipped car on the shoulder, so that's going to take a little while to clean up. How are things up in Tooele, Aubrey?
Well, things are looking not too great for drivers out in Tooele, honestly. If you were traveling westbound on I-80, we do still have 2 jackknife semi-trucks. This is at SR 36, and you can get by on the right shoulder there, but all the lanes are blocked, so it's taking people quite a long time to get from the Great Saltaire over to SR 36. And if you're traveling eastbound, we do have our construction delays from Mills Junction up to the I-80 merge on SR 36. And if you're traveling out of the Grantsville area from SR 179 over to I-80 over to SR 36, it is looking a little bit slow through that area as well. The 201 freeway is slow if you're traveling westbound trying to get onto I-80, and it will have pockets of slowing through Magna and up through the West Valley City right now. Replenish Landscape Garden Products offers the finest compost soil blends, bark, mulch, playground chips, and more. When you want the very best, visit replenishcompost.com. Replenish, it's good stuff. I'm Aubrey Withridge in the KSL Traffic Center.
Let's get a look at the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Hello, Matt Johnson.
Hello, and
what
good
have you
morning.
done, Matt?
It's I just forecast the weather, But today we're going to go partly cloudy. We do have a couple of snow showers hanging on in the Tooele Valley, but even those are really tapering off. Look for a cold high of 48 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be 61, partly cloudy, a 74 by Sunday. So you're going to forget about this cold day today and snow showers that we had. You'll be up to 79 and even 80 degrees by Monday and Tuesday next week. But another cool down with a chance for rain next Thursday.
All right, Matt. Right now it's 30 degrees downtown. Has anybody responded, Andy?
Oh, goodness, yes. All right, here's one listener. A new accident on Pioneer. They've been waiting 20 minutes in complete stop. That's on Pioneer Crossing. Stuck on I-15 for an hour and have gone half a mile.
Oh, man.
Been stuck in traffic for an hour and a half trying to get out of Tooele.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's see, 45 minutes in traffic in the Lehigh-Draper area. Been stuck at Point of the Mountain for an hour and 15 minutes. Just now finally getting to the exit where the freeway is closed.
Oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, hour and a half it seems to be a fairly common one for people trying to get over the Salt Lake, Utah County line.
We appreciate you. If it's safe for you to text us, you can text us at 57500. Let us know how long you've been stuck in these problems. It feels like a December commute, but it's April 17th.
We just got to get through. 80 degrees are coming.
Yeah.
We just got to get through today.
We can't do anything about the stress caused by weather or by traffic, but there is a stress that you can address in advance that will help you be less stressed out as a business owner or manager, and that's in having Les Olson IT help you with your tech issues.
Yeah, so when emergencies arise, first of all, they may prevent emergencies from arising in the first place, but when they do come up, Les Olson's got your back on this. They've got the experience. Your focus is on your business. I mean, unless you're running an IT business, your focus is on everything but IT, but it's such an important part that you need to partner with somebody like Les Olson IT to make sure that portion runs smoothly.
Because every business, whether you have a doctor's office or a restaurant or whatever, every business has the threat of ransomware and phishing, and every business needs to maintain data for compliance purposes. And so Les Olson IT can take the fear out of that by really guiding you through this maze.
Yeah, you can be a restaurant, you could be a doctor's office, you could be a whole lot of things. And Les Olson has a customized IT service that they can set you up with, whether you have a help desk already, whether you need help. And when you do, you'll talk to people here in Utah and they'll take great care of you.
And they even do on-site security too. So not just security for your data, security for your place of business if you need.
And by the way, they still take care of your copiers and printers and the best in the business. They've got 9 locations from Logan to Las Vegas and online at lesolson.com.
I'm Congressman Mike Kennedy. For years, Utah families have paid too much for health care, groceries, and everyday essentials. I'm fighting for health care reform that puts patients first and lowers costs. I'm also working to cut waste, fraud, and abuse in Washington because your tax dollars should be spent wisely. Fiscal responsibility means lower costs and a government that works for you. I'm Mike Kennedy, and I'll keep fighting for Utah families. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Let's get a look at your money at this moment. It was announced within the last half hour that Iran has completely opened the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump confirmed that in a tweet, and the markets are way up. The Dow is up 683 points. That's almost 1.5%. We're at 49,268. The S&P is up 60. That's 0.8%. The Nasdaq up 253. That's 1%. And look at oil. Oil is down to $83.88 a barrel.
That was quick.
That was quick.
All right, and Watching Utah's Money is brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Been getting texts at 57500 about people's how long they've been stuck in these delays, both in Tooele County and at Point of the Mountain. Let's see. Here's one listener, Jason, stuck on I-80 West for an hour and 30 minutes, not at the exit yet. That's the one going into Tooele County. Another listener had said they'd been, another Jason, actually been stuck in traffic for an hour and a half and just at the Point of the Mountain at the Salt Lake, Utah County line. They're not even to the Bluffdale exit yet. Yeah, this is what we're looking at, and there's no good alternate route because they're all backed up right now as well. We'll get an update on your commute next.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Emergency traffic on KSL News Radio brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Let's go back to the traffic center at Cameron Elliott.
Well, unfortunately, things are not looking much better on northbound I-15. We've still got that closure. We've still got people being pushed over on Highland Drive while Utah Highway Patrol does their thing. In the meantime, I do actually have my first good news of the morning, which is southbound I-15 is back at cruising speed. I would say that it's not the fastest it's ever been, but it's definitely back at a speed that would be acceptable for most commuters. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Pioneer Crossing, where we've got some serious slowing eastbound. I believe that's due to an accident earlier. We're seeing some residual delays. They have cleared that accident off the shoulder, but I think just so much buildup in that rush hour time that it was just too much. Same story for westbound. I think it blocked a couple of commuters around there, and we've still got to build up on westbound Pioneer Crossing as you come off I-15. Looking up at 2100 North, it's quite a bit for people getting off I-15 onto 2100 North. I think you're going to find a lot of people kind of scrambling to surface roads and smaller state roads, trying to get around this blockage on I-15. Unfortunately, I think your only options right now really are northbound Mountain View or northbound Redwood Road, and I think either of those, it's not going to do you much of a favor. How are things looking up in Tooele, Aubrey?
Well, we do still have all these lanes blocked on westbound I-80. You can get by on the shoulder, though. This is at SR 36, and the backups start right around the Gray Saltaire right now for those westbound drivers. Eastbound drivers will have some slowing on SR 36 from Mills Junction to the merge, and on I-80 from SR 179 over to that SR 36 merge as well. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
It's cold today, and it will only warm up to 48 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow, sunny and 61. Then Sunday, we get up to 74, and Monday and Tuesday are warm. We're right around 80 degrees Monday and Tuesday before it cools back down again. Right now, it's 32 degrees downtown.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good morning. KSL News Time, 8 o'clock. This is Utah's Morning News. I'm Andy Farnsworth.
And I'm Amanda Dixon. KSL's top story this hour.
There's sunshine outside, but it's cold, and some early morning lake effect snow left ice on the road. That ice has caused serious problems in several spots in Salt Lake, Utah, and Tooele counties.
People have been sitting stuck in traffic for a long time. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff joins us live from the south end of the Salt Lake Valley. Don?
Amanda, Redwood Road is crawling. I can confirm that it took about 20 minutes for me to go from about 2 miles to 146 south. So the southbound is just at a almost standstill. People need to plan some extra time for the closures that are happening. I think a lot of people are leaving their homes a little bit late, and that means they're trying to travel at higher speeds. Of course, that has them running into the ice that's on the bridges and the off-ramps. And, of course, those can be a little bit scary as you hit that ice. The sun is shining, as Andy said, and hopefully temperatures will begin to come up a little bit. I've noticed they're a little bit higher than when I was out here earlier, but that's still below freezing. Reporting live from Bluffdale, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Utah Highway Patrol Lieutenant Cameron Roden joined us just a short time ago.
They've had to close certain sections in order to be able to get UDOT into those areas to get salt down, to help us to get some of the ice broken up, help us get some of these crashes cleared out. So people are going to encounter intermittent closures in certain areas. We've got kind of three main hot spots right at the moment. We've got one right near Tooele County, one near the point of the mountain on I-15, and they just reopened Bangerter Highway at Redwood Road. So several different areas where we're working lots of crashes.
Roden says you may run into black ice traveling anywhere along the Wasatch Front.
Let's find where the biggest trouble spots are right now with Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center. Cam?
Well, the biggest trouble spot is absolutely northbound I-15 as you're coming through Draper. They're still diverting all of that traffic onto Highland Drive, which is, again, just a road that is not built for that volume of traffic. Especially now, I mean, we're starting to get past the heaviest traffic of the morning commute, but it's certainly, the damage is already done, but it's said plainly. That traffic is stretching all the way back from the Highland Drive exit on northbound I-15. It stretches into Utah County, past Thanksgiving Point, past Pioneer Crossing, past 2100 North, I should say, just about to Pioneer Crossing. Now, on a morning like this, I would say that this is significant. But there are other things going on in the valley that on any other morning would be very significant as well. That's a southbound closure of Mountain View Corridor over as you pass into Utah County. And of course, we've got that big accident up in Tooele County, but it's just really bad on those roads. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, we've asked you guys, our listeners, to tell us about a few, what your experience has been. And, this is actually one time where it probably is safe to text because they're sitting at a stop on I-15 right now. Let's see. One listener, it's now been an hour and 15 minutes, and they've gone just over half a mile on the northbound freeway. Took 20 minutes to get through Point of the Mountain going south from 720 to 740. By the time they got to that, because remember, that was closed earlier this morning. Been stuck at the Point of the Mountain for an hour and 15 minutes just now, getting to exit at 14600 South. One says Traverse Mountain cuts an hour off your time if you're willing to go up over the top. But yeah, it's not good. And we're looking at over an hour.
Appreciate your text at 57500. Breaking this hour, both President Trump and leaders in Iran announced the Strait of Hormuz is open. President Trump posted more details on social media saying the U.S. Navy blockade of Iranian ports will remain in place until the transaction with Iran is 100% complete. But he went on to say he feels that process will be completed quickly.
Well, let's check in again with Cam in the traffic center. Tell us a little bit about I-80 right now, Cam.
Well, looking over at I-80, things are better than they were, of course. I mean, but this is saying this after maybe 4 hours of just sheer mayhem. Right now, we've got all lanes blocked on westbound. The left shoulder is blocked. The right shoulder is open. This is according to UDOT. So they are letting some cars through, but obviously one shoulder is not enough. Westbound, however, all the lanes are blocked, and the left shoulder is blocked with eastbound, no lanes are blocked, I should say. So it's cruising speed eastbound, which, that will be the bulk of the traffic. That's the most important, is headed eastbound. But, that's not to say that there's not still a lot of trouble out there. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Utahns are losing millions of dollars to scammers every year. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis joins us live. Brianna?
Amanda, losses from scams reported to AARP in Utah last year totaled over $2.5 million. Bad actors are posing as government officials, tech support, and telling people they've won the lottery and they only need to send a small amount to claim the prize. One scam gaining traction is online romance scams, where criminals are leveraging the relationship to get money. One woman in Utah lost $850,000 over the course of months when the man she was speaking with online suggested they invest in cryptocurrency together. However, the most commonly reported scam in the state is still coming from imposters posing as big businesses, most commonly Amazon. Live, Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
A group of people in Draper are letting city officials know they're not happy about the new high-density developments, but the city says they're just following state law. KSL News Radio's Michelle Rowe has more.
The legislature requires cities with mass transit stops to create more high-density housing nearby or risk losing funding from the state. It's called station area planning, something that some Draper residents have been concerned about. Draper City Mayor Troy Walker says the city is working to meet the requirement while keeping the area around Kimball's Lane manageable. He also says that buying a house can feel unattainable, so the lower cost units may bring some affordability back to the area.
Walker says it's important to vote for both local and state officials who share your goals and values because both offices make decisions that impact you.
Today, the commute is terrible for a lot of people, but some days it feels so automatic. We don't remember parts of the drive, and that's not good.
That moment you realize you don't remember part of your drive, it's something a lot of people experience. Psychologist Dr. Garrett Giles says it's not just about driving.
As humans, we experience naturally occurring what we call trance states regularly throughout the day. It's a normal part of our brain activity, and in fact, that's what clinical hypnosis is really built on.
It's part of how your brain manages stress and stimulation, briefly shifting into a more automatic mode. But I asked Highway Patrol about this, and troopers say even if it feels routine, mentally checking out can still slow reaction time and lead to crashes. So even on the most familiar drive, staying mentally present still matters. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Well, as we've been talking, just a nightmare this morning. I'm looking at I-80 right now, still have only the right lane open on the westbound side heading into Tooele County. One listener said, I'm just sitting at a stop on 201. It's a nice view of Saltaire, but I'm not going anywhere. That's what we're facing this morning. We'll update the drive coming up next.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Get your yard ready with Rich Lawn. Spring is here, and it's time to bring your lawn back to life. Start with Rich Lawn Turf Food, an organic-based fertilizer that feeds your soil and keeps your grass greener, longer. Looking for professional grade results? Organic 100 delivers the nutrients your lawn needs to thrive. And for the finishing touches, Rich Lawn has you covered with Iron Rich for yellowing lawns, Easy Green Grass Seed, and Grow Rich Garden Fertilizer. Put in the work, trust Rich Lawn, and enjoy a yard you'll be proud of. Available at Home Depot and independent garden centers.
Emergency traffic at 8:09 brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Let's go back and check in with Cameron Elliott.
Well, I said it a minute ago, southbound I-15 has cleared out for the most part. We've got good speeds on southbound I-15, but it's the real trouble is on northbound I-15. Frankly, northbound I-15, it's closed. Highland Drive, they're putting all of the traffic off the exit onto Highland Drive. I'm taking a look at the cameras now, and I can see these cars on a crawl down those surface streets like Pony Express Boulevard and Highland Drive. Well, they kind of look for alternate solutions. On I-15 northbound, we're seeing those delays stretch all the way back from that exit, all the way through Point of the Mountain into Utah County, until just about where it crosses over State Street in Lehigh. We have a lot of people suggesting alternate routes on those smaller streets like Traverse, but frankly, the more people who go over there, the worse the traffic will be. The best suggestion at this point might just have to be Redwood Road. I would suggest Mountain View Corridor if there wasn't such a massive closure on the southbound Mountain View Corridor that's affecting traffic in the northbound lane as well as you come into Salt Lake County. Aubrey, how are things looking?
Well, things are looking pretty rough for drivers out in Tooele County area. We do have a crash on westbound I-80, two jackknife semi-trucks there right at SR 36. That's causing big delays backed up to about the Grace Altair right now. And if you're trying to get off of the 201 freeway onto westbound I-80, that's also really slow from the 202 freeway over to I-80 there. And if you're traveling eastbound on SR 36 out of Lake Point from Mills Junction over to the merge there, that's slow and go. And if you're coming from Grantsville area on eastbound I-80, that's also slow through there. Over in Weber and Davis County, that's a different story. It's been a good drive for those drivers all morning if you're traveling on any of our major freeways or highways over there. Common Spirit hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with Human Kindness is here. Hello, Human Kindness. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
Scattered lake effect snow showers south of the Great Salt Lake. Everybody else is dry, partly cloudy skies by afternoon, but a high of only 48. Overnight, we dip off to the freezing mark again. Take care of the garden if you can. 61 tomorrow and partly cloudy skies. 74, mostly sunny skies by Sunday afternoon. We're pushing 80 by Monday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
You know, this is the first storm we've had since they opened that new Mountain View southbound into Utah County to Lehigh. So this is the first time anybody's had a chance to drive on it in conditions like this, and it hasn't been good.
32 right now downtown. Why are Utah leaders investigating a Supreme Court justice here in the state? More with our legal expert Greg Skordish just ahead on KSL News Radio.
Streaming live at kslnewsradio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
You know, there's enough in life to worry about. You don't want to have to worry about your water heater or your furnace or air conditioner this summer. You don't want to have to worry about your water softener. That's why there's Superior Water and Air.
You know, it got so warm last week. I bet there's some people that hooked up garden hoses, and then you get a day like today. That busted a pipe in my house one time, those exact kind of conditions. And this is the time when you don't want to be thinking about, oh no, who do I call? Let's tell you right now, before that happens, make it Superior Water and Air. Build that relationship with them now. Have them come out now and just check you're getting ready to use your AC. Just give a look over things. Do some preventative checks. And then when the big one comes, Superior Water and Air's got your back.
Yeah, they have financing. So because eventually, if you own your home long enough, you're going to have to replace one of those things and maybe more than one. So when that happens, you don't have to worry about having to put it on a credit card. They have financing at Superior Water and Air.
They can do installation, they can do repair, they can do maintenance, and then that's the important part. When we had to replace our water heater a couple of years ago, we went with a different company. We had to pay with a credit card, and we paid a bunch of interest.
Superior Water and Air. Call them at 801-974-9090 or superiorwaterandair.com.
Every day on your way home, you pass it. That one lawn so thick and deep green, it belongs in the big leagues. It sets the bar for the entire street, making every other lawn look like it's still waiting for a wake-up call. Look for the sign of a winner. Big League Lawns. Now, it's your turn. Level the playing field and get the results your home deserves. Go home to a Big League Lawn.
Are mosquitoes still ruining your nights? The kids are finally outside, the string lights are glowing, and the swatting starts. Don't let mosquitoes steal your summer. Call Skeeter Eater, a Utah company built for backyards like yours. Our family-friendly treatments and smart mosquito traps keep the fun going long after sunset. Fewer bites, happier nights, and peace of mind that lasts all season. Book now and get $40 off your first treatment at SkeeterEater.com. Skeeter Eater. Stop the bites. Start the fun.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
KSL News Time, 8:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
a lake-effect snow ban has turned several roads into ice rinks in Utah this morning. I'm KSL News Radio's Randall Chips.
Second, the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk is scheduled to be back in a Provo courtroom this morning, and his attorneys want the judge to hold prosecutors in contempt of court.
Third, traffic and weather together.
The closure of northbound I-15 has the traffic backed up all the way from the Highland Drive exit to Main Street in Lehigh. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Afternoon highs topping in the upper 40s, but then a warm up for the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 32 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump says another round of ceasefire talks with Iran could be happening within the next few days, possibly as soon as this weekend. At the White House, here's ABC senior political correspondent Rachel Scott.
President Trump says the war with Iran should be over soon, claiming it's going swimmingly.
I will say the war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon. It was perfect.
The ceasefire with Iran is set to expire in just 5 days.
And as of now, no talks are scheduled, but they could be. The 10-day pause in fighting between Israel and Lebanon is holding, even though both sides took it right up until when the deal began before they stopped fighting.
The fighting continued in Lebanon right until midnight when the 10-day ceasefire began, greeted by volleys of gunfire into the air. Overnight, President Trump warning the Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah, posting no more killing.
ABC chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell in Tel Aviv. Some European airlines say they might have to begin grounding planes soon if the shortage of jet fuel continues much longer. An ICE agent in Minneapolis, Gregory Morgan Jr., is facing 2 second-degree assault charges for driving illegally on the shoulder of a road in that city in early February and pointing his gun at another car.
The agent claims the car swerved to cut him off. He says he then pulled up alongside them on the shoulder and admitted to drawing his weapon out of fear for his own safety and the safety of others. Prosecutors aren't convinced.
ABC's Pierre Thomas. The acting head of ICE, Todd Lyons, is resigning. He says it's not because of policy. It's because he wants to be at home for his son's senior year of high school. 600,000 worshippers attending an outdoor mass in Cameroon, celebrated by Pope Leo. During his homily, he urged young people to resist temptation and corruption and instead work to serve the common good. You're listening to ABC News.
Well, Utah leaders are set to investigate a Supreme Court justice over an alleged relationship with an attorney.
Co-host of Inside Sources and KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas joins us. I thought the bar already looked at this, or who looked at it?
Yeah, so since it involves a judge, it's looked at by what's called the Judicial Conduct Commission. It's a smaller commission that does research and investigation into judges when there's alleged misconduct. And so there was a complaint made against the judge alleging that she had some sort of an inappropriate relationship with one of the attorneys on the Better Boundaries case. Now, that's the hot topic case right now with the legislature. So if, in fact, she did, that would cause some investigation. The Judicial Conduct Commission did an investigation, and they found no wrongdoing. So they've closed the case out. But the complaint was still out there, and the legislature's now picked it up and said, okay, we're going to do our own investigation.
Has that ever happened before?
Never. I've never seen that before. I represent judges. I just had a hearing before the Judicial Conduct Commission about 2 weeks ago for a judge that I was representing. They do a great job. They do their own investigation. They're quite thorough.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
imagine.
a very thorough panel that does investigation. They even have investigators that work for them as they prepare for this. But I've never seen a legislative or other body usurp what they've already done and say, okay, you've done your investigation, now we're going to do ours, because that's their job, is to investigate judges, and they're by no means easy on judges.
Yeah, we played a soundbite this morning that the legislative leaders and the governor were saying this needs to be totally transparent. Is the Judicial Commission not transparent in the work that they do?
Absolutely transparent. And
so you can read the rulings on the findings already,
right.
Correct?
What's happened here is, just the tea leaves, if you look at it, is the legislature is not happy with the Supreme Court right now, no matter what. They don't like what's happened on the redistricting, and this, in fact, involves a lawyer who was on the redistricting case. So it just adds that little level of gas to the flames already. So the legislature is going to pick this up. She's even recused herself on some matters involving this particular lawyer because these allegations had been made. So I don't see it going anywhere. I feel horrible for her because she's really a good justice. And this David Raymond, the guy that's supposed to have had the relationship with her, brilliant lawyer, brilliant litigator. So I feel bad for both of them that they're stuck in the middle of this, but the legislature and the governor want them investigated, and they have the right to do that. I just don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Wow, we'll follow it with your help. Thank you so much, Greg. And Inside Sources coming up at 9 o'clock this morning.
Emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at uccu.com. And do we finally have some hope for northbounders on I-15, Cameron?
Well, Andy, I'm happy to say I've just gotten word that northbound I-15 is open once again. Fantastic. Just a couple of hours too late, unfortunately. Those delays, those residual delays are still there, of course. They're stretching all the way back from just about the mine as you head north on I-15 through Point of the Mountain, stretching all the way back to Main Street in Lehigh. I mean, those delays are going to take pretty much forever to get through. But I believe that the very, very worst of it should be behind us. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for Mountain View Corridor, where southbound Mountain View Corridor is still blocked as you're coming through into Utah County. I'm getting reports that from the Harriman Police Command that they say it was about 6 to 8 vehicles involved in a rollover sliding crash due to the ice on the roads there. So we're reminding people to please drive safe. How are things looking in Tooele, Aubrey?
Well, we do still have some pretty big delays if you're traveling westbound on I-80 between the 202 freeway junction heading over to SR36, where we do have that crash of the two semi-trucks there. You can get by on the right shoulder, but it is going to take you quite a bit of time to get through there. And if you are coming out westbound on the 201 freeway, that's looking slow too as you're trying to merge onto westbound I-80. And if you're on SR36 between Mills Junction and the junction for I-80, that's looking slow there as well through that construction zone. If you're over trying to get out of Ogden and heading into downtown Salt Lake City, that's been a different story this morning. Things are looking really good there, but there's no delays. It's about a 30-minute drive. All machines are on sale at Dave's Bernina in St. George and Provo. Free gift offers 24 months, no interest when spending over $1,499 for a special used machine purchase. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. I got a 48 by this afternoon, more than 10 below the normal, with partly cloudy skies. 61, partly cloudy Saturday. Sunday looks great. 74 and mostly sunny skies. You're pushing 80 on Monday. Look for a high of 79 there, partly cloudy. Mixture of sunshine and clouds on Tuesday, 80 degrees with a south breeze. We then bring in more clouds on Wednesday, 30% chance for a shower, 66. How about a 61 with rain showers on next Thursday? From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
32 degrees in the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Your best years aren't behind you. They're right here at Trio South Ogden. Discover independent living services that embrace aging as an opportunity to lean in, not step back. To pursue passions, not retire from purpose. Here, life is bright, colorful, and unapologetically fun. Move in, thrive on, because aging doesn't mean changing who you are. It means having more time to be exactly who you are. Schedule your tour today at triosouthodden.com.
This is Dylan Gunther of the Utah Mammoth. Scoring goals is what I do. Driving a BMW from BMW of Utah, that's how I roll. Proud to be a Utahn, drive elevated.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I bowl in 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you at high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Watching Utah's Money brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Anyone who shopped at Trader Joe's in 2019 could get part of a $7.4 million settlement. It says receipts from back then showed too many digits from customers' debit and credit cards. The chain denies any wrongdoing but says it's settled to avoid a prolonged legal fight.
Nutella is going beyond the hazelnut. The company is launching a new flavor for the first time. It's Nutella Peanut. It combines the traditional flavor you know and love with roasted peanuts, and it's available at stores across the U.S.
Netflix shares dramatically fell after chairman and co-founder Reed Hastings said he's on the way out. Reuters reports it has investors worried about growth or lack thereof. It follows a failed attempt at acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery by Netflix.
Let's get a look at these markets. After the announcement that the Strait of Hormuz was back open, the Dow is up 2%, 949 points. We're at 49,527, Andy. The S&P's up 74. Yeah, the Nasdaq's up 277.
Well, we've still got emergency traffic. I-15 backed up from Lehigh to Point of the Mountain, although the freeway is now open. Unfortunately, we still have only one lane of I-80 open westbound at Lake Point, and both directions of that freeway still jammed up. We'll update the drive coming up next.
This is Nate Orchard from Advanced Window Products.
When you live in Utah, your windows do a lot more than let the light in. They protect your home from freezing winters, blazing summers, and everything in between. That's why Advanced Window Products builds every window for your local climate. No middleman, no out-of-state delays, just factory direct quality, custom made for your home. Imagine a quieter home, a warmer home, a cooler home. Our high-efficiency vinyl windows are engineered to lower your energy bills and boost your comfort all year round. And installation is done by our own certified in-house crews, never subcontractors. That's why Utah homeowners give us 5-star reviews. Right now, take advantage of our anniversary sale. For a limited time, get $2,500 off when you buy 10 or more windows. Call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. For 40 years, Advanced Window Products has been the name Utah trusts for custom replacement windows and sliding glass doors. Advanced Window Products, built here, installed here, trusted here. Call 801-850-9100 for that $2,500 off, or visit us at advancedwindows.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
Emergency traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Cameron Elliott.
Well, we got a fresh crash on southbound Bangerter Highway as you head towards I-15 in Draper, sitting on the left shoulder, but not causing any significant delays. Looking back over at I-15, northbound I-15, the road is open once again, but you'll still have residual delays from the point of the mountain all the way back to Main Street in Lehigh. I wouldn't expect that to dissipate for a good while either. Southbound Mountain View corridor is still closed as you cross into Utah County due to an icy pileup earlier this morning. Aubrey?
Well, over in Tooele County, we do still have this crash westbound I-80 at SR 36. It is blocking all the lanes, but you can get by on the right shoulder, but it's causing backups to about the 202 freeway right now. And if you're traveling eastbound on SR 36 from Mills Junction over to that I-80 merge, that's really slow there as well due to construction and an earlier crash. Connect your kids with nature. Flower gardening is hands-on, times together, and memories. Olson's Greenhouse offers perfect plants for families to grow together. For porches, patios, beds, or containers, visit ogg.com. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today, we're only going to warm up till 48 degrees, and that's not till this afternoon. It's cold today, but tomorrow, sunshine and 61. We'll get up to 74 on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday are really warm. We'll be right about 80 degrees both Monday and Tuesday. Then we have another cold front moving in that'll bring us maybe some more rain midweek next week and dropping temperatures down to the lower 60s. Right now, let's see where we are. We have a few clouds and 32 degrees downtown.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News
with Andy Farnsworth and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning. KSL News Time, 8:30. KSL's top story this hour.
Well, the sun is shining, but for thousands of people on the roads right now, you have not been going anywhere quick. That's because of ice that formed early this morning on the roads from lake effect snow that led to a series of nasty crashes.
Yeah, we've had listeners telling us what kind of commute they faced. One listener texted us just a few minutes ago. I made it to I-80. Took me 2 hours and 15 minutes from my home. That's in Tooele County.
Oh, my gosh.
I've been stuck on Triumph Boulevard on-ramp in Lehigh for an hour. That's on the on-ramp itself. Wow. I've been stuck in traffic for 2 hours leaving Tooele, and that's the side that has lanes open. And just barely getting to I-80. This is what we've been facing this morning. Let's go live now to KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff, who's been checking out conditions at the south end of the Salt Lake Valley where the freeway was closed. Don?
Andy, the sun is up, and that is starting to help. But bridges and on and off ramps on the southwest side of Salt Lake County are still icy. Biggest problem is that people are driving at normal speeds on dry roads as they head south, and then they're hitting those bridges and that ice. To test the conditions, I slammed on my brakes in a parking lot, and even though I was only going about 5 miles an hour, I slid a few feet. Reporting live just off Redwood Road near 146 South, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Cameron Elliott joins us again from the traffic center to recap some of the other bad spots on the roads right now. Cameron?
Well, I can tell you that since this open on northbound I-15, the traffic has started melting away. It's actually reduced itself past, it's only in Utah County now. It stretches from about Thanksgiving Point to Main Street in Lehigh. And we've got about 8 accidents on the road in total right now, including those, the ones on I-15 and the ones in Tooele. And normally that would be caused cause for major concern. But I'll tell you what, after the incidents we've had this morning with how many road closures we've had, just having all of this be a little bit better is actually a huge relief. Unfortunately, southbound Mountain View corridor is still closed because of that big spin-off accident that, according to the police, involved 6 to 8 cars. So I would not expect that to be open for a good long while. And up in Tooele, things are going to take a while. That's 2 jackknifed semis. That's just not something that's solved quickly. And even if it is, those delays, those residual delays, are going to hamper you for a good long while. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Also developing right now, President Trump and leaders in Iran say the Strait of Hormuz is fully open to commercial ships, and both sides are working out the final details. ABC's Ian Pannell has more.
In practice, it doesn't really change anything from the situation over the last week when the U.S. naval blockade was put into place. I mean, on a technical level, all ships, oil tankers, for example, could have crossed through the Strait of Hormuz over the last week, in or out. Now, the reason they haven't in large numbers is because of concerns about the war, because of concerns about Iran, because of concerns about mines. And it'll take a little while for that confidence to be restored.
The stock market has surged on the news of the strait opening.
A Utah congressman is assuring Congress the $1 billion put toward restoring the Great Salt Lake will be worth it. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
Representative Blake Morris said in a House Budget Committee meeting the lake is an environment and economic anchor to the area, affecting air quality, snowpack, and thousands of jobs across the West.
This investment is monumental, but I want to assure my colleagues that the investment now in this will save taxpayers down the road from future calamity.
He says he looks forward to working on the lake as the Olympics are set to return to the state in 2034. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
Water will be pulled from Flaming Gorge and delivered downstream to Lake Powell. KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi reports the question is, how much will be pulled?
It wouldn't be the first time Lake Powell has leaned on Flaming Gorge for water. Stacy Rauch, who owns Cedar Springs Marina, says in 2022, 500,000 acre-feet of water was pulled from the gorge.
And it was a pretty significant drop. I mean, although I was told it only raised Powell a matter of inches, it dropped us over 15 feet.
Rauch says they can lower their boat ramp, but it puts them out into the lake channel and away from the protection of the cove. She's heard that up to 1 million acre-feet of water could be pulled this time, which is double the amount taken before. Lake Powell, which is already severely impacted by the drought, needs the water to keep generating electricity and provide water to states below the lake. Tammy Kikuchi, KSL News Radio.
First look emergency traffic, and back over to you, Cam.
Well, we've got northbound I-15 open again, but residual delays will have you in stop-and-go traffic reaching all the way from Thanksgiving Point back to Main Street in Lehigh. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
2 people are facing more than 200 days in jail after stealing from a Lehigh hobby store and severely injuring an employee.
The pair, Gavin Drake Huss and Riley Deborah Shellman, went into a Madman's hobby store in Lehigh and took an RC car. After running out, an employee tried to follow and talk to them, but it did not end with a talk. That employee, Mark Wilson, had to hop onto the back of their truck to avoid being smashed between 2 cars. They then sped off with him barely hanging on. He eventually flew off, and the truck ran over both of his legs, breaking multiple bones and giving him some extreme road rash. Huss will serve a year in jail. Shellman will serve just over 200 days, but both of them will have 3 years of probation. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
Visitors may soon have more camping options near Zion National Park. KSL News Radio's Isabella Sosa has more.
The campsites are part of a Bureau of Land Management project to add 2 new campgrounds along SR 9 between Hurricane and Zion National Park, as well as a new trailhead and event staging area. One campground would be on Gooseberry Mesa Road, and the other would be along Sheep Bridge Road near Virgin. BLM Utah hopes the project will protect the land by giving visitors more camping options and therefore decrease unauthorized camping.
If the project gets approved, the BLM will find funding sources for the project.
Walmart wants to hear Utahns' best business pitches, and they'll be holding an event here called Road to Open Call.
The event is an opportunity for local entrepreneurs to pitch their story to Walmart and potentially earn the chance to be featured on the Superstore's shelves. Head of the Utah Veteran Business Center, Becky Gertler, says adding a Utah stop wasn't random.
We were pulled together for a entrepreneurship roundtable discussion in the nation at the Department of Commerce in Washington, D.C. And I repped the Veteran Business Resource Center and Salt Lake Community College, and Walmart was there, and they reached out and said, we would love to bring Road to Open Call there. We pulled a couple of businesses in from Utah to put on our shelves. We want to see more of that.
She says the event is open to all business owners, not just veterans, and anyone is able to visit the community college to get help fine-tuning their pitch. Louise Kelly, KSL News Radio.
Well, as things are improving on the Salt Lake County portion of I-15, it's still really jammed up northbound in Lehi. We still got a portion of Mountain View Corridor southbound closed from Harriman down into Lehi, and I-80 westbound still only has one lane open on the freeway westbound heading to Tooele. We'll check your commute next.
Does your home have peeling paint or faded colors? Don't procrastinate. You need to protect your home with quality paint and a worry-free process, so make an appointment with CertaPro Painters. You quickly get a free estimate that's detailed, easy to understand, and then their trusted local professionals will bring fresh color to your home with quality craftsmanship at the right price. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Emergency traffic at 8:39, brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Let's get an update from Cameron Elliott.
I-15 north and southbound is totally open once again after being closed through most of rush hour, and the residual traffic is clearing at an impressive rate. Still, though, you'll be sitting in residual traffic from around Thanksgiving Point northbound back to Main Street in Lehi. Over on Mountain View Corridor, we're still looking at a southbound closure as you come into Utah County due to a 6 to 8 car pileup, and unfortunately, those crashes have put a lot of stress on the frontage roads and highways near where that closure on I-15 was. So build in extra time if you're planning on taking Redwood Road or northbound Mountain View. Aubrey?
Well, we do still have this crash westbound I-80 at SR36, where we have two jackknife semi-trucks there. You can get by on the right shoulder, but you will still see some big delays backed up now almost past the 202 freeway junction there. And if you're on the 201 freeway trying to get onto I-80, that's looking really slow for westbound drivers. And on SR36 from Stansbury Park over to that I-80 merge, that's looking really slow through that construction zone. And we did have an earlier crash there as well. Coming out of Weber, Davis County, that's still looking good. We haven't had any delays there all morning. Downsize without compromise with a home that truly fits your lifestyle. Ovation Homes in Syracuse, West Point, and Layton. Learn more and view amenities at ovationhomesutah.com. Your best years start here. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
AM snow showers south of the Great Salt Lake. By afternoon, partly cloudy and 48. For tomorrow, we're going to go for 61, partly cloudy skies, up to 71, and mostly sunny by Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now it's 32 degrees downtown, still cold. Coming up in a moment, we're going to talk to Jeremiah Jensen from KSL Sports about the Mammoths' first playoff game this Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
And that's the ice we do want to talk about,
yeah,
not
exactly.
the wets you've had on the roads. That's streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and there's a good chance you've heard me talking about our free furnace sale. The one where you buy a new air conditioner and we give you a new furnace for just the cost to install it, about $400. Well, we still have a few more spots on our schedule we need to fill, so I'm extending the sale, but I'm not quite sure for how much longer. Definitely no later than April 30th, and once I think our schedule's full enough, I gotta pull these ads, so don't wait too long to call and schedule your free estimate. The main reason we do this sale is to give you an incentive to help us keep our guys busy when the weather's mild. And thanks to your help, we're able to keep our guys and keep growing. So if your furnace and air conditioner are ready to be replaced, you owe it to yourself to at least schedule a free estimate and get all the details about our free furnace sale. Just to recap, when you have Any Hour Services install a new air conditioner, we'll give you a new furnace for just the cost to install it. About $400. The furnace is free, you just pay the labor. If you think you might be interested, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
This Mother's Day, give her more than just a gift. Give her comfort that she'll feel every single day. From Minky Couture, the blankets moms everywhere are obsessed with. Discover all new arrivals just in time for Mother's Day. We're talking brand new spring colors, fresh floral-inspired designs, and Minky's softest, coziest fabrics yet. Whether she loves something light and airy or plush and luxurious, there's a Minky made just for her. Perfect for relaxing, recharging, and wrapping yourself in some well-deserved me time. And for a limited time, enjoy special Mother's Day deals in-store and online. Plus, KSL will be live at the Layton location this Friday from 10 to 1 for the movie show. Stop by, shop Minky for mom or yourself, and use code MOVIE50 at checkout for 50% off any regularly priced blanket. Again, that's promo code MOVIE50 online at minkycouture.com or at a store location near you. Because she's given you everything. This year, give her something she'll truly feel. Minky Couture, made for moments that matter.
And news is brought to you by Minky Couture, the best gift ever. KSL News Time, 8:43. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
attorneys for the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk say prosecutors violated a judge's gag order, and they want the Utah County Attorney's Office held in contempt of court. I'm KSL News Radio's Don Brinker-Haas.
Second, Utah Representative Blake Moore is trying to convince members of Congress putting $1 billion toward restoring the Great Salt Lake will be worth it.
Third, traffic and weather together.
Northbound I-15 is open once again, but residual delays will have you in stop-and-go traffic reaching all the way from Main Street in Lehigh to Thanksgiving Point. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking for a cold afternoon with sunshine, but then warmer over the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 34 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump and Iran's foreign minister have just now both announced that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open. The price of crude instantly tumbling after those remarks. The markets are just now opening. They had been much higher in pre-market trading. ABC's Rachel Scott says there are 5 days left in the 2-week ceasefire between Iran and the U.S.
At the White House, the president also facing questions about his ongoing attacks on Pope Leo.
Lewis, I'm not fighting with him. The Pope made a statement. He says Iran can have a nuclear weapon. I say Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
The Pope never said that. He criticized the president for threatening to destroy an entire civilization in Iran and has preached a message of peace.
The Pope celebrating Mass in Cameroon today as his African tour continues. An estimated crowd of 600,000 people were there. Jet fuel prices worrying Europe. The price has roughly doubled since the start of the war, leading to some airlines saying they're going to cancel flights. This is ABC News.
Well, it's almost time. The Utah Mammoth playing their first ever playoff game this weekend.
KSL Sports anchor Jeremiah Jensen. Oh, we don't have him. Oh, shoot. Oh, we wanted to talk to Jeremiah.
Well, here's what we know.
Okay.
They're taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Game 1 is on Sunday.
Yes, right.
And it's going to be the best of 7 series, and that's what we know.
So the first 2 games are in Vegas, Sunday and then Tuesday. And then Game 3 comes back here to Salt Lake. That's a week from today. That's next Friday at 7:30. Game 4 is Monday, April 27th. That's here at 11 a.m. Oh, my gosh, at 11 a.m.?
It's always about TV, I'm sure. They want to show a lot of games that day.
That's a day I could actually go, though.
Hey. All right, we do have Jeremiah Jensen joining us live. Okay, JJ, this is our first chance to watch NHL playoff hockey in Utah.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I don't think we're ready for it as far as we don't know what to expect because our team's involved in it. I've loved watching the Stanley Cup playoffs for a long time, but to have a team representing Utah in this thing is just unbelievable. Can't wait to see it for real.
For those of us who have not followed hockey as religiously as some, what do we expect from this series against the Golden Knights?
Oh, it's a great matchup, Amanda, because the Golden Knights are a great franchise. They've won ever since they entered the league, and this is a great franchise and team that's used to winning. And they've gone through a lot of coaches that don't win. So when they don't win, they fire their coaches. So they have a really high standard. And so the Mammoth are facing a really good franchise, but they're also facing a franchise they can beat. The Mammoth are also at a high standard, and they've entered this league and had success. You come into this matchup, and you look at the records of these teams; they're even. The Mammoth have actually won more games this year than the Golden Knights, even though the Knights have more points. So it's kind of a coin flip series here. It's going to be one of those great Stanley Cup playoff matchups, and the Mammoth can very well win this, even though they don't have home ice advantage.
Yeah, and I'm looking, actually, they played back in March on the 19th, and Utah won at Vegas 4-0.
Yeah. The Utah won the season series. Now, I've been warned not to look into that too much by hockey experts, but the point is this is not a team like the Oilers that they beat for the first time a couple weeks ago. This is a team that they have had success against. So it's not one of those things where they're this massive underdog going into this in their first time. There's a lot of people around the league that expect the Mammoth not only to win this series, but they could be one of those dark horse teams that make deep runs that no one expects.
Wow, wouldn't that be something? I know whenever we talk about playoffs in any sport, I always worry about injuries. Are we healthy going into this?
That's a great point. There is some issues there. Jack McBain is out. Barrett Hayton has been out. They're week to week. We don't know yet if they're going to be ready for game 1 on Sunday or game 2 on Tuesday. Those are important players that play a key role in that offense. They need those guys back. We'll wait and see on that, but it doesn't look good right now. So, yeah, injuries are absolutely a factor, and that could be a concern. Otherwise, though, the Mammoth are healthy. Their stars, Dylan Guenther, Logan Cooley, Clayton Keller, they're all healthy. Their goaltender, Karel Vejmelka, is healthy. So it's a team that has good health, but those two guys would really help them if they're able to get them back into the lineup.
Now, JJ, I'm not a super hockey fan, but I have watched enough hockey and playoff hockey over the years to understand that in the playoffs, goaltending is supreme. And how do the goaltenders between Vegas and Utah match up?
Utah has the advantage. Now, they've had some more consistent goaltending in Vegas, but if you talk around the league, their goaltender group is one of the lowest rated in the league overall and have had some issues, especially earlier in the season. But Karel Vejmelka has been so solid all year long. He's won a lot of games. He's been so stout there. So I would say that's an advantage for Utah. But that doesn't mean that Vegas isn't good defensively either. So don't be misled by that. But if you're looking at net, I think Utah has the advantage in this series for sure. The Veggie's been that good this year.
Yeah, we're excited. All right, JJ. I want to hear that noise a lot.
There we go. Hey, scores.
KSL Sports, Jeremiah Jensen with us on the In-Depth at 15 and 45.
Time for another update on emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. And let's get an update from Cameron Elliott.
Well, we've still got that big stretch of traffic on northbound I-15 stretching all the way down from Main Street in Lehigh to Thanksgiving Point. That'll certainly add some time to your commute, but nothing nearly as bad as we had earlier this morning. We're also seeing a big patch of traffic a little further north on northbound I-15 between 123rd South to 106th South in Draper. Southbound Mountain View is still closed due to a multi-car accident earlier this morning. Aubrey?
Well, it looks like we do have another lane open now on westbound I-80, another right lane there. So they've moved some of those semi-trucks over to the far left. So you can get through a little bit easier than you were before, but it is still pretty slow there if you're traveling all the way from Saltaire over to the SR36 merge. If you're on SR36 itself from Mills Junction up to I-80 there, that is looking slow and go there as well as from that earlier crash and from our construction delays through that area. If you're coming out of Weber County or Davis County right now, things are looking great there. No delays. It's been good all morning on all of our major highways and byways. Don't miss the Epson Tour at Copper Rock, May 14th through the 16th. Preview LPGA Next Gen Rising Stars on a breathtaking, challenging course. For stay, tickets, and info, visit copperrockchampionship.com. I'm Aubrey Withrich in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. I got 48 expected this afternoon, definitely on the chilly side with partly cloudy skies. 61 by Saturday, partly cloudy. 74, mostly sunny skies on Sunday. That warming trend will continue into next week. Monday, I got 79, partly cloudy. Mixture of sunshine and passing clouds on Tuesday, 80 degrees with a south breeze. That south breeze will usher in another small storm on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 30% chance for a shower, 66. I got a 61 next Thursday with a chance for rain. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Oh, man, what a rough morning it's been for our commuters. I'm so sorry about the morning you guys have had. But at least we have sunshine. Not that
and
helps.
we do have freeways open at Point of the Mountain. That's making a huge difference.
So it'll get better. Right now it's 34 degrees, and the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Imagine a world where you can leave the house and take your home Wi-Fi speeds with you. Well, thanks to Xfinity Mobile, it's not just fantasy. Just picture it. You're at your kid's softball practice, streaming the other game in 4K, just like that. At the airport, download a cozy family comedy in a snap. What if the places you had to be felt more like everywhere you wanted to be? That's the magic of Xfinity Mobile. Reliable Wi-Fi and 5G when you need it. Xfinity. Imagine that. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Visit xfinitymobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus regular rates for 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More. Verizon Unlimited Plus and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes, fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Cut your mobile bill in half. Visit xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Salt Lake City, this is your final boarding call, extended by popular demand. Titanic, the exhibition, is sailing away soon. Don't miss your last chance to experience the heartbreaking and heroic stories of her passengers and crew. See the incredible artifacts before the doors close forever on April 19th at the Shops at Southtown in Sandy. Get your tickets before they're gone at thetitanicexhibition.com. That's thetitanicexhibition.com.
Ever drive through the neighborhood and your spouse points out the window and says, "How come our lawn doesn't look like that one?" You know the house. The one with the thick, deep green lawn that makes the rest of the neighborhood look like an afterthought. That's no mystery. That's a Big League Lawn. It's the professional, lush green lawn you shouldn't have to spend your weekends fighting for. Big League Lawns. Get the lawn your neighbors talk about and go home to a Big League Lawn.
Mosquito season in Utah? It's here. And it's hungry. Before the swatting starts and the kids run inside, call Skeeter Eater. Our mosquito service doesn't stink, doesn't stick, and actually works. We're a Utah company with family-friendly treatments built to help you enjoy your yard without the bug sprays, candles, or chaos. Get $40 off your first treatment now at SkeeterEater.com. Skeeter Eater. Stop the bites. Start the fun.
Let's get another look at emergency traffic, and back to you, Cameron.
Well, we're still seeing that patch of traffic shrink. Right now, I'd say it's encapsulated just a little bit above 2100 North and Lehigh, just about to Thanksgiving Point. But now it kind of caps out south at Pioneer Crossing. Unfortunately, there's been so much stress put on the frontage roads and all of the surface streets by people trying to find their way around these jams that you're going to run into a lot of trouble if you're trying to head up into the valley on roads like Redwood and Mountain View Corridor. Actually, speaking of Mountain View Corridor, I've got good news on that front. It looks, and I'm going to say this tentatively, it looks like southbound Mountain View Corridor is open again, so you should be able to get through there. Things are looking good. I'm Cameron Elliott in the KSL Traffic Center.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. NPR received its largest donation from a living donor in the network's history. It was $80 million from philanthropist and co-founder of the Ballmer Group, Connie Ballmer. An anonymous gift of $33 million was also received. It comes after the Trump administration clawed back $500 million in annual funding for public broadcasters.
Let's get a look at your money at this moment because the markets are really up. The Dow is up 1,000 points. That is over 2% after the announcement that the Strait of Hormuz is back open. The Dow is now at 49,582. The S&P is up 86. That's 1.25%. The Nasdaq is up 355 points. That's 1.5%. And oil, Andy, is down $13. We're now at $81.56 a barrel.